So welcome back everyone watching on MAQ TV. Here we have game 3 of day 6, Brampton Pacers versus the Somerset Cavaliers, 22 yards. And it was the Cavaliers who won the toss and put the Pacers into bat. And it's really important tonight for the Brampton Pacers to get the win. They're on 4 points, the Cavaliers are on 6. And so for the Brampton Pacers to get the win, that puts them in good contention to go through to the next round. And we have Nadav Shah opening the bowling for the Cavaliers, Chadwick Walton facing, and it's going to be a wide ball to start.
First loosener from Shah, straying down the leg side. Nice run up as you see the replay right now.
Yeah, got some movement on the ball there, just in a little bit too far down the leg side for the likes of the umpire. And as we say, wide given, so he's going to have to do that one again. And here comes Shah bowling at Walton, who just pushes that back onto the leg side and no run from it. So good response there from Nadav Shah. And as I said, last game of day 6, and lights are on here at the Broward County Stadium. We're getting into the evening dusk, I would say, with a little bit of light, but it's going to get dark pretty quickly.
The winter months, Sasha, right?
Yeah, this is definitely not what I'm used to in my winter months, but here we go, Nadav Shah in for his second legal delivery, and again that's just pushed away, but that has got a little bit more strength to it, and it's going to race away to long off. And that's the first boundary of the innings. That's the first boundary of game 3 of day 6, and 4 runs goes to Chadwick Walton.
That was a lovely stroke. He just kind of went a little forward and just a gentle push. There was not much of an effort, and let the bat do the talking there.
Yeah, that looked like it came straight out of the middle of the bat. As you say, it didn't look like it took a huge amount of effort. Walton making batting look easy here. And that's a better ball from Nadav Shah. Just getting it a little bit up into the body of Walton. And all he can do is just tickle it back to the bowler. And after his first 3 legal deliveries, the Brampton Pacers 5 for no loss. In comes Nadav Shah, still bowling at Walton, and they take a quick single here. So 5 goes towards Walton, and Brampton Pacers 6 runs off the first 4 balls, and Radhawara is the new man on strike.
You know, looking at the action of Shah, when you see left arm seam bowlers, some of them look so effortless. When I see Shah, it's like putting in a lot of effort in his run up to bowl that delivery, and that's something that every bowler has a natural angle and a natural style. Coaches tweak them a little bit here or there, but as he comes in left arm over the wicket.
Oh, and Radhawara is bowled. First delivery is faced, that's a golden duck, and that's a lovely ball from Nadav Shah.
That was a delivery that was right on the middle stump, and he moved away from the ball, as you can see, and got the middle stump all rattled up. A stroke that he probably in retrospect would have wanted to probably stay in the crease in the same position rather than moving away on the onside.
Yeah, he left his stumps open there, and Nadav Shah wasn't going to let that one go. Let's watch that one again. Here you go. Yeah, as you say, he just moved away from his stumps, and they were in full view of the bowler. And lights are on here in the Broward County Stadium, and lights are on the stumps as well. So the Brampton Pacers, after just 5 deliveries, are 6 for 1.
And in comes Mark Dayal, who is a power-packed hitter. He has shown his prowess with some amazing strokes, particularly in the onside in the last game that I watched. So he joins Chadwick Walton as the Brampton Pacers are 6 for 1 in the first over.
Nadav Shah still 1 ball to go in the first over. And as you say, Dayal, the new man at the crease, and you're absolutely right, he's been hitting some wonderful shots during the tournament so far. And as I previously mentioned, important for the Brampton Pacers to try and get the win tonight. So an early wicket is not what they would have wanted to start with.
What I see a bit interesting and unusual is we have 2 slips now. So a little bit of aggression from the fielding side.
Yeah, that's good cricket. We like to see a little bit of slip action, but that shot has been played down on the leg side and it's been swung for a 6. That's the first 6 of the Brampton Pacers innings, and Dayal wastes no time when he comes to the crease.
Not at all, and look at that. It's just like a flick. So well timed, going over the fielder's head over there at deep fine leg for a magnificent 6. So with one delivery, Dayal has made his presence felt.
So Hemraj is going to be taking the ball for over number 2 of the Cavaliers bowling attack. And after over number 1, Brampton Pacers 12 for 1. And will be important for Walton and Dayal to stay at the crease and build a little bit of a partnership here. It's 6 already, and that's come all from the one shot off Dayal. And Hemraj just practicing his action, as Walton not happy with how he is at the moment, just wanted to make sure everything's okay before he steps up, ready to face the spin of Chandrapal Hemraj, who comes up for ball number 1. And that is just pushed away onto the offside, no runs there. So still 12 for 1. Good first over from the Pacers, but loss of that wicket. And that is a lovely shot. We see that played onto long off. And 4 runs to Chadwick Walton. Brampton Pacers 16 for 1.
That was a lovely stroke, Sasha. He just waited for it and then just lifted it over mid-off for 4 runs as he moves on to 9 out of 6 deliveries. Next one from Hemraj.
And exactly the same shot as before. That's a lovely shot. Straight back to where he hit the last shot, and another 4. So deja vu here at the Broward County Stadium.
Clearly, Hemraj will have to alter his line because if he's going to bowl in the same general area, I think Walton will be very happy to lift it over the inside field as he gets ready for his 4th delivery.
And that's going to be a wide. So after the 2 4s hit off Hemraj, exactly the same one after the other, he's tried to change his line and he's just got that one a little bit wrong. So wide delivery, and here he comes again. Hemraj to Chadwick Walton, and just gets the bat involved, doesn't do a lot with it, and no runs. Hemraj again, and that one's pushed onto the leg side, this time down to long off, long on, no, long off, on. Where are we?
We are on. We are on. It's been a long day, Sasha.
It's been a long day, I'm struggling here.
But no, I think Hemraj has changed his line, as you saw, because he's not giving him the deliveries outside the off stump. He was more on the middle and leg this time. as he wanted to block those strokes over mid-off, as he now prepares for the last delivery of his first over.
So Dayal, the man facing the last ball of the second over. He hit a 6 off his first ball. Let's see what he can do now. And that's going to be a wide, and is it going to go all the way down to the boundary for 4? There is a man chasing, but no, the ball beats him, and that's going to be 4 wide. So a bit of a loose ball there from Hemraj. And the Brampton Pacers 27 for 1 with still 1 ball in the second over.
Yeah, I was mentioning earlier, Sasha, about the left-hand, right-hand combination. That throws a lot of bowlers in a tizzy. And
confuses a lot of commentators as well when you get that one wrong.
And you know, the line he was bowling, the first 2 deliveries which were hoisted for boundaries over mid-off, and he wanted to change that line, and he went too far on the onside, resulting in that wide.
Yeah, exactly right. So 1 more ball left of the over after that wide. Brampton Pacers 26 for 1. So Nanav Shah comes back into the attack. He has the only wicket of the Brampton Pacers, but off his first over, 12 runs from it. So, you know, not awful, but not the best start in terms of leaking runs. And Walton facing, and that has gone wide of Walton, but no wide called. So good ball, wide Yorker length, and Walton can't do much about that.
That was a well-delivered outswinging Yorker to the right-hander, and he just tried to caress it on the offside but was not able to make contact. So no runs came off that particular delivery. That's a delivery that Shah will probably employ more, I reckon.
Yeah, partnership now of 20 between these 2 batters. As Nadav Shah gets to his mark and starts bounding in to Chadwick Walton. 14 for 10, Chadwick Walton. And that was a full toss, and he's dispatched that, and it's going to go all the way to the boundary for 4. So lovely shot there by Chadwick Walton. 18 off 11 so far. Brampton Pacers move up to 30 for just the 1 wicket.
Yeah, Mr. Walton is just saying thank you very much. I will just smack it over the infield and fetch 4 runs as he moves on to 18, Sasha.
Yeah, and just a reminder to anyone who is just tuning in, still in the power play, and that means that only 2 fielders are allowed outside the inner ring, and that allowed Walton to just flick that ball straight over the inner ring, and no one there to stop it going all the way to the boundary as Nanav Shah comes in. And again, Walton smacks that onto the leg side, but there is fielders out there, just the 1 run from it. So, yeah, good few balls for the Brampton Pacers there.
They certainly did, and they are moving along at a rapid pace and making full use of the power play and the fielding restrictions that are enforced during the power play.
Yeah, Nadav Shah, a little bit expensive in this over so far, 5 from it. Still 3 deliveries to go. Dayal just having a look around, seeing where the field is set before he gets settled in front of the stumps. And Nadav Shah just having a walk around before he starts his run up, just getting his head in the right headspace. And here he comes for 4th delivery of his second over. And that has been launched up onto the offside, but now there is cover back there after his previous shot, and they'll just get the single from it.
.32 for 1, the Brampton Pacers, pacing their innings quite well. I'm sure the batting side and the team management will be happy for the moment with the score that they are performing at the present time.
And Nadav Shah, man with very long legs by the looks of it, comes running in And that is played straight back into Mark Dayal. He did well to get out of the way of that, but there is cover behind him. And again, just the single from it. Mark Dayal did really well to get out of the way of that. That was coming pretty quickly at him.
You know, sometimes when you play certain strokes, Sasha, you feel like those strokes deserve more runs. That was one of those strokes. Looked so elegant, off drive, but went straight to the fielder, which did not fetch him more runs.
So here we have last ball of the third over. Nadav Shah coming into Mark Dayal. And again, just a little bit of a change in the field, just making sure that they restrict the Pacers now. They don't want too many more boundaries to go off these power play overs. And Nadav Shah just taking his time here. Mark Dayal, the man on strike. He's 11 off 3. And last ball of the third over. Here comes Nadav Shah. And that's a good ball, but it's been pushed down onto the fine leg boundary, and that is another boundary. So 4 runs again to Mark Dayal. He's 15 off 4 so far.
Yeah, as you see on the replay, he swung his bat and probably not the exact intended result that he would have wanted, but nevertheless, bat on ball, and it flies away to fine leg for 4 runs as Dayal quickly moves on to 15 of just 4 deliveries, Sasha, and Chadwick Walton on 20 of 13.
Yeah, 11 runs off that last over, so good over for the Brampton Pacers. 3 overs gone, 37 runs, and just the 1 wicket of Radhara, who got a golden duck. And our statistician tells us that it's his 2nd golden duck of the tournament, so not a stat that he would want to have against his name, but there we go. You have to credit the bowlers for bowling well against him.
Absolutely. It's too late in the day, otherwise I was going to push you to pronounce Jagjit Randhawa again. But you know what, Sasha? I'm going to be nice to you.
Yeah, that one has always been slightly difficult, but I can definitely pronounce this one. Ali Imran Pasha, my cousin. He is coming in for his first over of the Cavaliers 22 yards bowling innings. And Walton just says, nope, not ready. There was something distracting me. Not sure what it was, but that is dead ball. So Pasha thought he was going to go in for ball number 1 of his spell, but no, he's going to have to go all the way back to the top of his run-up to do it all again. Brampton Pacers 37 for 1 after 3 overs, so run rate of 12.3. Going at a pretty good rate so far.
Very healthy run rate. And with only 1 wicket loss in the power play so far.
And here comes Pasha for his first ball. And that's just nudged away onto the offside. And goes down to the boundary ropes, but there is someone there. So I think they've just got the single, or is it 2 runs? 2 runs, I'm being told. So good running there from Walton and Dayal. They are going at a good run rate, but it's always good to push for these runs, put a little bit of pressure on the field, and also put a total on the board that will make their bowlers very happy to go back out into the field after the halfway stage.
And of course this game played under floodlights, and the dew factor will be playing a major role. I was walking on the field yesterday around this time, and there was quite a bit of dew.
Yeah, it definitely gets a little bit moist later in the evening. Here comes Pasha, and again that's just swiped down to the offside wide fine leg boundary, but there is a man out there, and just a single from it this time. So the Brampton Pacers move on to 40 for 1. Pasha 3 off his 2 balls so far. And Dayal is the man on strike, currently 15 off 4 deliveries, so he's going pretty nicely so far.
Yes, power-packed Mark Dayal, really displaying a wide array of strokes in this US Open.
Little bit of discussion there from the Cavaliers. as they strategise over what to do with the next ball from Ali Imran Pasha. Just getting some advice from Nadaj. And here we go, Pasha come bounding in again. And again, that's going down onto the offside. And is it going to reach the boundary? No. Yes, no. He fumbles the ball, steps over the boundary ropes, but manages to keep the ball inside the boundary. So good fielding in the end, but they still get the 2 runs from it.
Yes, swing of the bat and not the intention which he wanted to deliver, not to deep fine leg. He was eyeing more of the mid-wicket area, but mistimed it and ran it straight to deep fine leg, and they were able to get a couple of runs. As the score now is at 42 for 1 with Walton on 23 and Mark Dayal on 17, as Pasha now gets ready to bowl to Mark Dayal.
Long run up here from Pasha as he comes in for his 4th ball. And that is a big appeal from Pasha. Thinks he might have got Dayal leg before wicket. And some fielding from the Cavaliers has led to 1 run extra, so 2 altogether. They got the 1 single, and then with the overthrow that you'll probably see here, they managed to scamper back for 2.
Yeah, it struck his left pad, and a direct hit did not hit the stumps, and they came back for the 2nd run. So 2 leg byes. Score moving on to 44 for 1. Walton on 23, Dayal on 17.
5 runs so far off this over from Ali Imran Pasha. And he comes in again for his 5th delivery of his first over. Mark Dayal, the man on strike. He's 17 off 6. And that's a good ball from Pasha, a slower delivery. And all they can do is get the single from it. So keeping it slightly tighter here. He's gone for 8 runs so far off his over. But 2 of them being leg byes, so 6 to his name.
Yeah, good intelligent cricket, Sasha, because it was a slower, almost like an off-spinning delivery, and he correctly played that stroke on the offside and came across for a single.
1 more ball of the 4th over. Current run rate is 11.7, and Pasha 1 ball left of his over. Chadwick Walton facing, and he just plays that ball really nicely down to 3rd man boundary, and that's going to go for a 4.
Yes, good intelligent cricket at that time. The ball was outside the off stump. He waited for the ball to come on the bat and gently caressed it towards 3rd man, and the ball reached the boundary for 4. Dayal has not only played some amazing powerful strokes, but he's also displayed some good cricketing strokes that do not require all the power.
Brampton Pacers 49 for 1 after 4 overs. Going at a good rate at the moment. Over 11 and over. And as you can see now on the screen, the night sky is getting darker by the second. We had a lovely sunset here, as we usually do. And the lights are clearly in use, as it's got very dark here pretty quickly.
It's a very well lit ground, Sasha, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got a lovely setup here at the Broward County Stadium. It's the only ICC approved stadium in North America, and you can see why. Stephen Taylor into the attack here, and Dayal has a big swing at that, but no luck. He doesn't get that to go anywhere. So good start from Taylor. Dayal looking a little bit frustrated that he didn't manage to smashed that over the boundary ropes. But let's see what he can do with his second delivery. And I think that's going to be a wide. It is. Yep, just down the leg side of Dayal, and wide signalled by the umpire, which brings up the 50 for the Brampton Pacers. 50 for 1 after 4.1 overs. And another good ball from Taylor, stopping the Brampton Pacers from getting any runs off that delivery. Good field setting from the bowler and the captain. And Dayal, lovely shot there for 4. He moved away from his stumps, leaving them open, and he moved away very early actually, and managed to get all of the ball down to the offside boundary. There you go, watch that again. No one out there in the deep, and that's a lovely shot for 4. Dayal moves on to 22 of 10 deliveries. Brampton Pacers 54 for 1. Taylor coming in again. And another swing from Dayal, but again, goes through to the keeper and no runs. So 54 still. 2 more deliveries of Taylor's over. Partnership now 48. So they've come back really strong after the loss of Randhara. I've definitely still not pronounced that right. I do apologise.
Yes, Mark Dayal is clearly eyeing the offside with the bowling of Stephen Taylor, as the last ball of Taylor's first over is coming up.
And that's going to be out. That is Mark Dayal playing again onto the offside, but he's played it straight to the fielder, and Stephen Taylor gets the wicket of danger man Mark Dayal. Brampton Pacers move to 54 for 2 at the end of over 5. And there's going to be a double change in the commentary box. Perfect timing just after the wicket of Mark Dayal.
The great Henry VIII coming in.
Well, Taylor has struck in his last delivery. Like last night, he would have picked up a wicket in his first over. So he has formulated a pattern here. Good evening, good evening, good evening to all viewers looking at this, the MAQ TV, and the 13th edition of the US Open. And I want to welcome the golden voice of Lenny Archibald.
So thank you, Ivor. We've seen a couple of wickets to fall. And this will be very good here for Cavaliers, 22 yards. So we've seen a runaway train in Brampton Pacers, certainly led by Mark Dayal. Smashed 20 plus in quick time. Chadwick Walton has batted impressively well, and Ali Pasha will continue. In fact, Stephen Taylor has finished up that over, and so a couple of overs, 5 overs gone, 54 on the board.
This last tournament, 2020, he was dominated by Dayal. I had him on camera at least no fewer than 3 times for play of the game.
So Ali Imran Pasha will continue. First of all, would have gone for 10. We've seen a rapid start here from the Brampton Pacers, and Chadwick Walton has batted well tonight. And this one he's trying to go down the leg side. And a good take by Aldane Thomas. The ball may have gone in between the bat and the body of Chadwick Walton. No wide, no nothing signal from the umpire. So 54 for 2, Ivor.
Yes, Walton there is disappointed that he did not make connection with that. He's not worried about a wide not being called. He's worried about how did I miss that. Well, he lives to fight another day, though. He's not out, so he can remedy this next delivery, and he can just take it out of the park. I think he is on 27 from 17. He's going at a good clip, trying to get Brampton Pacers A respectable total. He plays this one with soft hands and takes off a quick single.
So Paul Palmer comes into strike. He batted well the other night, and he's a quality player. And the job ahead here for Cavaliers, 22 yards. For one, is to restrict the scoring. Or maybe the better thing is to probably pick up wickets here. They've done so a couple of times already. We've seen the departure of Jagjit Randhawa and that of Mark Dial. As in the case of Jagjit Randhawa, that player would have collected a pair of golden ducks during the course of the series.
Oh my word.
Just the other day, Randhawa was cleaned up the very first ball from Robin Chaudhry from Yankee Royals.
Well,
And today we saw Najaf Shah taking the sticks down.
well, let's just say he started a duck farm. This one is onto the legs of the batter there, Palmer. He works it around the corner. He's going very close to the boundary. Goes across the boundary rope now for 4.
So 4 leg byes, ball sliding down the leg side. And that's one of the things we have said so many times. No benefit going down the leg side, especially when you're bowling fast. And so that one has certainly eluded the keeper by a long way, Aldane Thomas. And look at that, a big chase towards the end, 59 for 2.
Yes, they're going at a good clip, over 10 and over. And they're trying to really set a target here, which they hope to defend. The Cavaliers, 22 yards, they're under the gun at this time. Chadwick Walton, 28 from 18. Palmer, who's just joined him, has only faced 1 delivery. He's yet to score.
So the Somerset brand would have tasted success for the very first time at the US Open when they won in 2017, beating the US All-Stars. And then in 2018, they would have been in the final with California Bears, a game in which they had some bit of control towards the end, but then lost it. We saw a good performance by Nathan Stewart in that match for California Bears. And in 2019, they were able to get the better of the Atlanta Fire. Teams, of course, being led by Najaf Shah. He's been at the leadership for some time. And then last year, we saw Atlanta Paramveers triumph over 22 yards. So this year, 22 yards have merged with forces from Cavaliers. And what was already a very strong Somerset Cavaliers side has now merged with 22 yards. And you could tell the strength of that lineup.
Yes, indeed. 60. They're going to the 60s now. 60 for 2. And Pasha is trying to hold the reins here. These guys are going at a good clip. A good platform has been set here by the Pacers. And Palmer gets off the mark with a gentle push into the onside. So he's on the way.
So this over had gone pretty well for Ali Imran Pasha. But 4 leg byes in the over has made it 6 runs in the over so far. Still a tidy one. And we'll come into bowl to Chadwick Walton. Walton has batted well. You look at the scorecard there. He's 28 off just 18 balls. And he has struck 5 fours already. This one guided away towards the wide third man area. And so that will complete the power play. That will complete 6 overs. And after 6, they're going at 10 and over. 61 for 2.
Yes, 7 from that over. 61 for 2. Yes, indeed. And Pasha doing well for himself. He's going just over 7 and over. Well, 6.5 and over. Let's put it that way. 2 for 13. So he's holding the rein. Are we going to see Taylor? He is struck in his first over. So the chances are he will be coming back and trying to make some inroads into the batting of this Brandon Pacers. Yeah, so it's a good time to get a cup of tea because the third umpire goes out to have a word with the on-field umpire. So it's tea time here. Yes, the man had a tea, and you can have some coffee as well. I can tell you, do you like your coffee hot or cold? You can always get it Mad Hatter there's never a bad time for a Mad Hatter break.
So we're back with the cricket. Walton on strike. Taylor continues. And it goes through to Aldane Thomas. That's a good delivery here from Stephen Taylor. This is Taylor and company, and Somerset, in fact, Cavaliers 22 yards. Would want to pull this game back. Smacked into the onside. Got a long way. Chadwick Walton tees off at Broward County Stadium, and that's gone a long way for 6.
Yes, up on the grassy bank and out of the playing area, and he got down on one knee as if to pray and say, Lord, Lord, give me a 6, and his prayer was answered. It went a long way.
So up on the banks, we saw Lendell Simmons a couple of days ago would have possibly cleared that by quite a few meters, but that's a big hit from Chadwick Walton. He's all class. He goes up to 35 from 21 balls. Let's see what he's done so far. 1 6 and 5 4s. So he scored quickly tonight. And Stephen Taylor certainly under pressure here. The run rate continues to be over 10 runs and over.
Yes, indeed. He goes round the sticks and outside the off stump, and he's cutting well, beats the man there at point, and he goes over the boundary ropes. So a 6 and a 4. So Taylor is under the gun here.
So a couple of big shots here from Chadwick Walton. Oh, giving a lot of width. Wrong length, wrong line, and cut away. Lovely shot from Chadwick Walton. He goes up to 39. Look at that. Yes, from just 22 balls.
Yeah, Walton is on the charge. He's on the charge, trying to set the target. Brampton PACERS. This time he's pulling, but there's coverage down there, but it's going to be all but in vain because this one goes across the boundary rope in the cow corner area. So
14 runs in the over so far. We've seen a 6. We've seen consecutive 4s off the bat of Chadwick Walton.
Yes, he started with a dot. He started nicely, but it's not how you start, it's how you end. But these are the middle balls in this over. It's dot, 6, 4, 4. So it's gone for 14. He's under the gun. Now he decides he's going to bowl over the wicket. So let's see if the change of angle would make a difference.
So Brampton PACERS, they're still going way over 10. They're going at 11.2 now as this one high in the air. Taylor has a chance. And he takes the chance. Cotton ball. And the enterprising innings from Chadwick Walton comes to an end. 75 for 3.
And look at Taylor. Look at Taylor go. He's a happy man. He seemed like he's out of jail. Oh, Taylor, you were locked in, Taylor. He was coming after you. And Taylor, in the end, would have broken the partnership. 75 for 3. My word, we look at it again. Taylor going over the wicket this time, and I guess the change of angle would have worked for him. He went right up into the night sky. We're on the lights here at the Broward County Stadium, and Taylor says, mine, 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 needs no help. Took it in. Wicket number 3. Walton goes for 43. Another batter gone in the 40s. I don't want to see Sasha anyway because she's going to say it's my fault. Another batter fell in the 40s. Chadwick Walton.
So Taylor picks up the big wicket of Chadwick Walton. Harsh Thakkar comes to the middle. And we're still in the 7th over. Stephen Taylor has given up 14 in this over. But certainly would have done some bit of redemption here by picking up the wicket of Chadwick Walton. So Paul Palmer has taken guard.
It's a good time to get a good wicket too on the wicket of Walton because he was really going gung-ho. And now you have two new batters at the crease. So time to make some inroads now, Cavaliers.
So Harsh Thakkar is the new man in, but he wouldn't be facing for now as Paul Palmer would have crossed. And Stephen Taylor with 40 runs in the over picked up the wicket of Chadwick Walton. Comes into bowl to Palmer. Palmer is getting a ball down the left side. And wide is the call from the umpire.
Yes, he's gone back around the wicket, and that doesn't seem to be his favorite angle, but this is the left-hander who is facing, so apparently he feels, well, he has a better chance of getting him down from round there. And this time he's on the back foot punching, and the man of the deep square leg runs in and prevents 2.
So that completes over number 7, and after 7 is 76 for 3.
Well, 16 runs coming from that over, so Taylor was under the gun. He has bowled 2 for 21, but he's in the wicket column 2 times. So he's 2 for 21. Over number 7, done and dusted, 77 for 3, which indeed is the latest score here at the Broward County Stadium.
MAQ Group is a real estate investment company. Our goal at MAQ Group is to provide you with the expertise and service you need to do business in today's complex market. More information, visit maqgroup.com.
Yes, indeed, if you're in need of a place to sleep, you can always get with maqgroup.com. Well, it's going to be Karima Gore. He's going to bowl to the left-handed Palmer, who is on 2, and he strokes this one back along the turf and field to his own bowling. His Gore coming in for his first spell. He's coming after him. The bat gets away from him, and back in the day we'll say, catch the bat, catch the bat. And if one were to catch a bat back in the day, you would have been a goner.
So Paul Palmer picks up a couple of runs. Karima Gore, he's bowled well in the series. He's just behind John Ross Jagisar's most wicket in the series. John Ross Jagisar is on 9. Karima Gore is on 8. But Karima Gore, quality bowler. And we'll come into bowl to Harsh Thakkar. Harsh Thakkar has had a very good series. In fact, Paul Palmer on strike, sorry. And ball played up towards the offside. Score remains at 79 for 3.
Now it's time for them to stroke it around because the platform has been laid. They've been going over 10 and over, so it's time for them to just keep. Oh, this time they look pretty adjacent here, and he's a goner. Palmer, naughty, trying to do some house cleaning, pull out the broom. He should have pulled out the duster instead.
So a couple of quick wickets to have fallen, and now Karima Gore gets into the into the act of getting a wicket, and Paul Palmer falls. 79 for 4. Karima Gore strikes pretty early. Look at that.
Yes, 1 brings 2, 2 brings 2, 2 brings 3, 3 brings 4. And like I said, he pulled out the broom, but in the end, he was on the turf. So now someone have to bring out the duster to dust him off. Seemed to be a dejected man. Paul Palmer out of the land of wood and water, Jamaica. Yes, indeed. So he walks back a dejected man. He's looking at his bat. He said, "Bat, you failed me."
So Shamar Springer is the new man in. He joins Harsh Thakkar. Much to the relief of Cavaliers, 22 yards, 2 batsmen. Brand new to the middle, so to speak. They haven't faced any ball, but one will. And Shamar Springer is a quality all-rounder. Saw him in the Toyota Minor League Series, would have represented the Atlanta Fire. And had some decent all-round performance during the course of that series. And he comes in here with 4 wickets down here for BRAMPTON PACERS. One time they were batting at 54 for 2, and you look at the card now, it's 79 for 4. So Karima Gore and Stephen Taylor certainly have pulled things back a little bit, but still a long way to go. 74 balls still to be bowled.
Yes, since the departure of Walton, Walton really batted beautifully. He took it all in. He did all of the heavy lifting. Now it's time for these two here to carry on.
So Springer on strike. He gets a good delivery. Plays with a turn. And can't score as the ball goes out towards the offside. So the batsmen out. Chadwick Walton, Jagjit Randhawa, Mark Dial. And not too long ago, Paul Palmer.
Yes, indeed. That one was coming back into the batter. Outside the off stump, coming back again with the arm. And again can't score. He's eager to get off the mark. And he's playing it right. He's playing it with a straight bat. They know they can't afford to lose another wicket at this time. So the two batters come to the middle, and they're going to strategize now to say, we've got to stay here at least until over number 15, work the ball around, set a platform for the finishers.
13th US Open Cricket 2021 Fantasy Sports. Create your Dream 11 and win exciting prizes. Log in www.usopenfantasy.com.
So you can see the skyline there all blacked. It simply means we're on the lights here at the Broward County Stadium. Lenny?
So Taylor will continue. He has come back well. He's started pretty expensive, but look at that. He's picked up a couple of wickets. And Harsh Takar is working this one towards the offside, brings Shamar Springer back onto strike. And it was not long ago the run rate was at 11.5. Now it's gone on to 9.8. Taylor and Karima Gore has really pulled things back in the last 8 balls or so.
That's 2020 cricket for you. So Taylor has found favor with bowling over the wicket. He's got that last wicket from bowling over the wicket, and he decides, I'm going to continue bowling over the wicket to the right-handers.
So Shamar Springer kept on a tight rein. Brampton Pacers and Cavaliers locked into a very fierce battle at the moment, and both teams still clamoring for points, which will certainly decide the outcome of their campaign for the 2021 US Open Title Championship. And let's look at the points table so far. Cavaliers 22 yards. They're up there on 6 points with US All-Stars. And then right below those two, Brampton Pacers, they stand on 4. So it's going to be a very interesting fixture, this one is. And the one that wins here, if Brampton Pacers win here, then they will have 3 teams tied with 6 points. And if Cavaliers 22 yards should win this one, they will be the first team in the tournament to go up to 8 points.
Yes, well, they would have won the toss. So that's one of the winnings that could be had. They've won that, but it's going to go all for naught if they're not going to be winning this match. That's the win that they're going to be needing. They're playing this one. They're thinking 2, but there was never 2 on the cards.
Yeah, ball went high into the air, well away from any of the fielder. And it's one of those shots and one of those balls that goes so high in the air. It's sort of like a teaser. Oh, big appeal? Well, not really, but ball probably heading down the offside or the leg side, but in the end, they scamper through.
Yeah, I think it would have hit him outside the off stump, but he was trying to work it into the onside, and we look at it. Yeah, he was right across, hit his right pad outside the off stump. Good call there by the umpire. The umpire has been of a high standard here in this tournament so far.
Yes, Ivor Henry, certainly led by Danny Khan and Jermaine Lindo. We have seen the likes of Mangesh Rani and also Aditya Gajar out in the middle. And we've also seen Venkat and Avik. So the umpire panel has really been an elite one. And certainly coordinated by Danny Khan, who's no stranger to US Open over the years. And a man who knows all the corners of when it comes to the US Opening and how things are run around here.
The president of the Umpires Association in these Americas. So big hail to Danny Khan. And while we're in it, we might as well say good evening to Mr. Peter Nero, because he's played a big part in preparing the umpires here in these United States. Just truly having to be one of those students of Mr. Peter Nero.
So ball played into the onside. They're running quick. Oh, a bit of misfield. And they come back. What should have been just an easy single towards the deep areas of the field ends up to be a couple of runs. And that fielder might have been Yasser Mohammed. We'll have to watch on the replay, but a bit of misfeeling allowing the batter to come back for a couple of runs. Shamar Springer still on strike. And Karima Gore, who has been called up by the US selectors to play in the T20 International Series with Ireland, continues to bowl well here. 3 in the over so far.
Yes, I like his action. I like his mode. He comes from a real high action. We'll have a good look at him here. Here he goes spinning that one and putting a lot of revs on the ball. Hard to score, and he's bowled in good areas. So the US are in good stead with Karima Gore. This should give him some good practice for the Ireland match.
So Harsh Thakkar has had a very good series, not only with the ball. He is one of two bowlers who would have taken a 5-wicket haul. The other being Hamza Tahir. The ball worked into the onside again. Pressure on the fielding team. They come in quickly. Was able to restrict the batsman to only a single. 89 on the board. 89 for 4. And Karima Gore has conceded 5 runs in this over so far. Not a bad over. But the Brampton Pacers are still going over 9 runs and over. 89 for 4.
And the previous delivery, in which went out to the deep mid-wicket area, they were testing that fielder who would have misfielded, but there it is that he would have recovered, and he came in and collected nice and easy peasy. End of 10. The latest score here at the Broward County Stadium, it's 89 for 4. Brampton Pacers sent into bat, trying to set a target.
And Taylor into the attack again, and it's just going to be stopped on the boundary ropes. And Thakkar, who was man of the match the last time the Brampton Pacers played, moves on to 7 of his 6 deliveries.
Yes, this man has had a very good series. Harsh Thakkar. He's one of 2 bowlers that would have picked up a 5-wicket haul. And in addition with that, he has gotten some good knocks in the middle.
Stephen Taylor again, the man with 2 wickets and 28 runs to his name after 3.2 overs. He gets a dot ball with Thakkar facing. And in he comes again. And this time, Thakkar just nudges it over onto the offside for another dot.
So Stephen Taylor and company have done well to pull the run rate back. Sasha, at one time it was 11.5 runs and over. And you look at what has happened here. It's in the air. Has he given someone a chance? No, it will not. And they go through for a single, but ball was in the air for some bit. And the man running back from cover, it appears to be Chandrapal Hemraj. Couldn't get to the ball in time, 92 for 4.
Yeah, ball managed to fall safely in between 3 fielders who were running towards it. And Thakkar hands over the strike to Shamar Springer, who has 5 off his 9 deliveries, facing Stephen Taylor. Again, nudged onto the offside. And good fielding there. That was going pretty quickly. So diving to his right. That was really nice fielding from Karima Gore.
Yeah, he's an outstanding cricketer. Karima Gore. He saved probably a couple of runs there. As Harsh Thakkar on strike cuts into the offside. We'll get an easy single as deep cover comes in to field. And so that concludes over number 11, Sasha, 94 for 4.
MAQ Group is the real estate investment company. Our goal at MAQ Group is to provide you with the expertise and service you need to do business in today's complex market. More information visit macgroup.com.
So Harsh Thakkar takes the strike again at the beginning of the 12th over. He's 9 off his 10. Brampton Pacers currently 94 for 4, going at a run rate of 8.5 per over. Stephen Taylor bowled out. He got 2 wickets for 31 runs. So not too bad from Taylor there.
Yeah, Taylor started the pull back along with Karima Gore. Bowling change. Abdul Jabbar comes into the attack. And we have seen a nice little partnership developing here, 15 so far.
Jabbar into Taka for his first delivery of his first over, and single comes from it.
So Cavaliers playing well in the tournament so far. You look at the points table and they're up there with 6 points. If they win here tonight, they'll be the first team in this series on both sides to have gone to points number 8. So very important game. And if Brampton Pacers should win here tonight, it will make a 3-way tie between Cavaliers, US All-Stars, and of course Brampton Pacers on 6 points. They will be separated by net run rate, of course.
And Jabbar in for ball number 3, and that's pushed towards his batting partner Springer, and just a single again from it. So going in ones at the moment off Jabbar.
So Abdul Jabbar given a chance here to play. Hasn't played too many of the games with the Cavaliers. 22 yards, ball punched into the offside, easy single. And so far we've seen 4 singles in this over, Sasha. This has been a very good over here from Abdul Jabbar.
Yeah, you're exactly right. This is what the Cavaliers would have wanted for him as he came into the attack. The Brampton Pacers going at a healthy run rate, and they just needed to slow it down a little bit to keep that total low enough for defending.
So he comes down the track and strikes the ball well, straight down the ground. Harsh Takar. That's a lovely shot. It's gone for 6. And that brings up the 100 here for Brampton Pacers. It's 104 for 4.
Let's watch that again, because that was a lovely shot. That bat was straight as an arrow, and the ball goes straight over the bowler's head for a huge 6. And as we were saying, Jabbar was keeping it tight. He lets a big maximum go.
Well, the over's gone for 10 already, so that's not really what they want to do. Runs here again. Kareem Agor comes in quite quickly, but at the end, 11 runs off the over. Not a good one here for Brampton Pacers. And after 12, it's 105 for 4. They're going at 8.7 at the moment.
Kareem Agor back into the attack. He has been pretty good off his 2 overs so far. 1 wicket for 7 runs. And as we said before with the over of Jabbar, he's going to be needing to keep it tight here. Currently into the 13th over.
Yeah, we saw a very good over from Jabbar up until the 6th that was struck by Harsh Takar, and that was a lovely shot straight down the ground. So we'll have to wait and see. Kareem Agor switches ends. And Sasha, as we have seen in T20 cricket, bowlers have to be ready to switch ends and bowl. The element of surprise has always been part of T20 cricket, and it continues tonight as Kareem Agor comes from the bottom end and he goes to bowl from the far end of the ground.
Exactly right. Fields his first delivery nicely, and here he comes, and that's a big swing from Taka, and that is gone for 4. That's a lovely shot down onto the leg side boundary.
Yeah, this man is having a very good series, and I'll run some numbers when I get a chance. But he's batted well. He's batted well for Brampton Pacers. And look at that. That's a well executed shot. Finds the gap between square leg and mid wicket, and it goes away for 4. It's 109.
Yeah, that's a nice looking shot there. And as you say, Taka, who was very gracious when accepting the Man of the Match trophy last match, thanking his parents for everything they've done, which is always nice to see, moves on to 22 of 16 deliveries.
And so after this delivery, I'll tell you 3 of the scores he would have scored, and you'll see how consistent this man has been. And he's picked up wickets, a 5-wicket haul. He's driving straight back to Kareem Agor. So in the 3 matches that he has played, Sasha, the man has scored 42, 31 and 63. So that's an outstanding series for the man.
Yeah, he won't be turning his nose up at any of those scores.
So he gets a single. No, he will not. A couple of tidy comeback deliveries there from Karima Gore after gone for 4 in the over so far.
Yeah, partnership moves on to 30 between Tucker and Springer as Kareem Gore comes in for his 5th delivery. No, just kidding. He's now coming in for his 5th delivery. Tucker on strike and just works that away, but there is a fielder there, so looking like a nice shot, but didn't get a lot of bat onto it, and it just bounced into the inner ring fielders.
So it's 109 for 4. They're going at almost 8.5 runs and over. And here's the final ball. Gore to Takar. Doesn't time it well. We'll get a single. We'll be on strike when play resumes. 13 gone. It's 110 for 4.
th US Open Cricket 2021 Fantasy Sports. Create your dream 11 and win exciting prizes. Log in www.usopenfantasy.com.
So Jabbar back with ball in hand. He was going nicely in his first over, then got that huge 6 hit from Tucker, and so 11 off his first in the end. Let's see what he can do now.
So Tucker on strike. Goes up to long on. Stephen Taylor is posted there. So the partnership has gone up to 32, Sasha. This has been a good one. It's 111 for 4.
Yeah, Brampton Pacers move on to a Nelson, and unlucky for some, we've seen a few Nelsons during the tournament and a few wickets when they've been on a Nelson.
So Shamar Springer has been relatively quiet. You look at his production rate, he's used up 13 balls. He's only contributed 8, but it doesn't matter. We saw somewhere along the line they would have lost a couple of wickets. So it's consolidation time. Oh, he comes down the track. Just I was saying that he was a little passive. And he launches one into the long off area just under the commentary box. 6 runs for Shamar Springer, 117 for 4.
Yeah, I think you jinxed it there. He wasn't happy with you telling him he was being a bit quiet, so he threw that ball right back at you, didn't he?
Yeah, a couple of sixes on this end. Abdul Jabbar. He's bowled well, but he's conceded 6 in the previous over, and he's already conceded 1 in this over. And Shamar Springer hits in the air. He's giving someone a chance. Fielder comes in, will not get to the ball. Shamar Springer survives, and they come back for a couple of runs. It's all happening here in Fort Lauderdale. It's 119 for 4, Sasha.
Yeah, I just wonder if the fielder there could have tried to dive for the catch. It fell just at his feet, and I wonder if he was just running too quickly and he just didn't have time to get his hands in the way of the ball that fell down, as I say, just in front of him.
Might have been Milind Kumar. Milind Kumar would have been captain of the Philadelphians in the minor league series. So Abdul Jabbar has gone for 9 in the over so far. And Shamar Springer punches this one towards the offside. Fielder comes around and restricting the batsman to only a single. Good bit of work there by the man at deep cover. And he pushes the score up to 120 for 4.
Yeah, 10 of the over so far from Jabbar, and he's going to want to make sure that he leaks no more runs on his last delivery of his second over here.
Oh, Harsh Takar comes down the ground, and this time goes for 4, so this over's gone for 14 runs in that over, and Harsh Takar on the charge, he goes up to 28. What a shot.
Yeah, again, I probably jinxed it there for Jabbar, but that is a fine shot by Takar. He is moving at a pretty good pace here and playing some lovely shots as he does it. 124 for 4, the Brampton Pacers. And as you say, that was a big last over for them.
So scores of 42, 31 and 63 from Harsh Takar in the preceding games. And now he comes up here and a partnership of 45 with Shamar Springer. He's having a very good series, and he picked up a fifer.
Exactly right. And at the end of over number 14, the Brampton Pacers 124 for 4, and Karima Gore gets the ball back to bowl his last over of the innings. He has gone for 12 runs off the 3 so far, and also getting a wicket.
So projected score of 100 and 175. And we'll have to wait and see if that projection holds true. But, oh, smashed away through the offside. Fielder coming around, does well to keep the ball in play. And they come back for a couple of runs. So the run flow continues to come here for Brampton Pacer. Couple of runs there to Shamar Springer.
Yeah, you could see the fielder on the boundary edge sliding across to stop that ball. And as we mentioned earlier, the dew is going to play a part in this third game, last game of day 6, as Karima Gore comes back in and swiped by Springer there, but didn't quite get a hold of it, and they'll just get the single.
So the partnership approaching a 50. It's up to 48, a couple of runs more. Harsh Takar, he's been brilliant tonight, and Shamar Springer has supported well. 48-run partnership. Karima Gore and the boys from Cavaliers 22 yards under pressure here to defend something in the vicinity of 175 on tap here.
Taka facing, and he plays a lovely shot down to the boundary ropes, and they run for 2. That's good running there, because that was a nice shot by Taka. Went at a pretty good pace, so that was quick running between the wickets there from Taka and Springer.
So that brings up the 50 partnership between the pair. It's 129 for 4. We've seen 5 runs in the over so far, Sasha. And the run flow cannot be stopped here from Brampton Pace.
And that is played down to long on, and it looked like it was nearly stopped there, but he's gone over the boundary ropes, and that's going to be a 4 again to Taka. Let's watch that one more time. I thought that the fielder had got there and done his job, but it looks like it just beat him, and beat him for pace actually. It was going at a hefty rate there.
So the run rate has gone over 9. 9 in this over. And Cavaliers 22 yards under the gun here. This one is another single here from Harsh Takar. And it's 134 for 4. 10 off this over. Shamar Springer comes back into strike. The partnership has gone up to 55 runs.
Yeah, as you say, 10 off the over so far, with 1 ball remaining from Karima Gore. 1 ball left of his 4 overs that he is allowed to bowl. And let's see what he can do with it. Not a bad ball there. And just a single from it. So Karima Gore finishes his 4 overs, 1 wicket for 23 runs. And we're going to say goodbye to Lenny and hello to Ivor. Welcome back. It's been an exciting few overs since you went away for your dinner. And partnership moves on to 56. Springer 21 of 19. Harsh Taka, who has been the man smacking the ball around the pitch, he's 35 of 25. Brampton Pacers 135 for 4.
Yes, indeed, a good partnership between these two. They would have scored off every delivery in that last over. Boundary coming in it as well. 135 for 4. 15 done and dusted. It's a 20 over match. This morning we would have seen an 18 over match because of a late start, but we were all caught up. Karima Gore 1 for 23 from his 4, so he's done. Now he's going to be out of the attack. Pasha comes back 2 for 13. Pretty decent figures, Sash.
Yeah, no, not too bad at all. And he'll be looking to break up this partnership with his over. It's going at a good rate at the moment. And Springer will be facing the first ball of Pasha's 3rd over.
So he runs away now. He's going to be bowling over the wicket. And he's getting a top edge, goes over the wicket keeper's head and going to go past the boundary ropes now. And yet another 4. So a welcome boundary. And I would have started off with a boundary, Sash.
Yeah, I think the keeper's eyes lit up for all of a second when he saw that top edge. But as you say, over the keeper's head and racing away for 4.
Well, all supporters who are supporting Brampton Pacers would hope that these two would carry on. But I know the folks over in St. Kitts and Nevis are hoping to see the local boy, Colin Archibald. I think he should be next up.
Yeah, Brampton Pacers won't be wanting him to get into the attack, but as I say, Pasha here at the top of his run-up will be wanting to get that wicket of Springer, who is facing his second delivery and plays it straight back to the bowler, but past the bowler and goes down to the boundary, and that is just the 1 run from it. Good fielding, and Pasha 18 runs off his 2.2 overs so far.
Yeah, that's a good stroke. It came back along the turf, too quick for the bowler to really stop that one from going beyond him. But good bit of fielding down here on the long off boundary.
So Taka now facing Ali Imran Pasha. As we say, he's 35 off 25 deliveries, and he's hit some lovely shots so far.
Yes. At one stage, these two batters were on 0, did not face a ball, both of them. So they've recovered somewhat. A dot goes into the book there. That's a good ball, good Yorker. Right at the bottom portion of the bat. And the batter now looking at his bat.
Yeah, it wasn't much else that Taka could do there. It was a good delivery from Pasha. And current run rate that the Brampton Pacers are going at is 9 and over.
Yes, the keeper looked like a lonely soldier there. There's no slips, no leg slip. There's no one close to him. The closest person would be, well, yes, the short third man up in the circle, and the fine leg is up in the circle. So they're under defense. They're trying to prevent these guys from scoring boundaries. They have boundary riders. Another good delivery right up in the block hole again. He's trying to turn it into the onside, but you have 3 boundary riders in the onside. Deep backward square leg, mid wicket, and the long on. Stephen Taylor is down here at the long on position. We have a long off and a cover sweeper. So they've got to get their boundaries away from those riders, those boundary riders. Pasha's been bowling Yorkers. Those are not easy to get away, Sash.
No, and he's been bowling exactly where he should be bowling, because Taka can't really get behind the ball with its Yorker. He just doesn't want to get it wrong and give him a full toss.
Oh, he's swinging for the glory, and a man down there takes the catch. Wicket number 5. I just pointed out to him. I guess he was not listening to me. I told him there were boundary riders. There's one on the deep backward square leg.
And that's exactly where he hit it.
Could we said Harsh should be named Hardhead Harry? I told him there was a man stationed there. But then again, let us see if the local boy from Nevis, here's a replay, looking at it on the replay, right in the paws. And in cricket we say down the throat of the fielder, stationed right there. Is it Collins? That's what we're saying. All of Nevis and St. Kitts were hoping a wicket would fall, but for Colin Archibald to carry on, we would have said that Sasha is on top of things.
So 140 for 5, the Brampton Pacers. And as the batters cross, Springer will be the man on strike to face Pasha's last ball of his 3rd over. And wicket has just fallen for Brampton Pacers, and it was a good delivery from Pasha and a good catch out in the deep.
Yes, the ball got only in a hurry that the batters didn't even get a chance to cross as well. They crossed. No, Colin Archibald is on strike. So the Southpaw, Colin Archibald, and you don't want to know why I'm stressing on Nevis. He's my hometown boy. We're from the same place.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yes, so you know, I have to be biased here, you know, a little bit.
Nevis is actually one of the Caribbean islands I've visited.
Yes, oh my word, well, lucky you.
Yes, it is an absolutely beautiful place to go if you get the chance.
Oh, thank you for that. We're going to make you an ambassador.
Oh, yes, please. If you need me to come over at any point, please let me know. Happy to make a return as Pasha comes in for his final delivery of his 3rd over. And that was right on the pads of Colin Archibald. And he's given. And golden duck for Archibald.
Yeah, we'll have to have a look at that. We'll see that in the replay. And that brings Pasha on a hat-trick. He was toppling over there as he tried to play that Yorker length delivery. We will see.
Yeah, Pasha's been bowling really nicely.
Yeah, must have pitched just outside the leg stump. But in the umpire's opinion, it pitched between wicket and wicket, but from our advantage point, it would have pitched just outside the leg stump.
So Brampton Pacers fall to 140 for 6. Archibald out for a golden duck. And that is the end of over number 16. Imran Pasha, as you say, on a hat-trick now, but he will have to wait for his final over, which I'm sure he'll be looking forward to.
Yes, indeed, because he still have another over, so 2 for 18. So Pasha is definitely on the charge. He's on a hat-trick when he comes back, and that is if the 4 wicket will not have fallen in this over.
Yeah, and Rajit Deal, the next man in, and we've seen quite a lot of batters going out there with a backwards cap on underneath their helmet. Do you know why they do that? Because I'd imagine earlier in the day it'd be protect their neck from the sun maybe, but the sun is well and truly gone, and Deal has got the backwards cap on under the helmet. I wonder if that's for any particular reason.
Well, I can only say the helmet is a bit big, so the cap makes it a good fit.
Yeah, no, that could be right, or maybe
give it a little bit of cushion.
yeah, something like that. Just looks slightly interesting from our angle up here.
Well, or could it be a fashion?
Fashion statement.
Yeah, it's a fashion statement. So, well, we're on the lights. Who knows? Maybe there's some heat in the light coming down, Sash. Never know. 140 for 6. And you're not missing any cricket, as you can see on screen. Want to welcome all viewers again to the MAQ TV. This is the 13th edition of the US Open. Tomorrow will be number 7. Day number 7. Going to go all up to number 8 on Monday, 13th of December.
So Nadav Shah back into the attack. He's been pretty good so far in his first 2. And Springer just pushes that away for the single. And Nadav Shah won't be too worried about the singles right now. Brampton Pacers 140 for 6. And Springer moves on to 26 off 22.
Well, they've been on 140 for quite some time. We would have seen 2 wickets fall on the score on 140. Oh, he's guiding this one nicely. And he gets a boundary there. Proper cricketing stroke. That's 4 runs. It didn't seem to part when he left the bat. It was just pure timing on that one. That's a lovely 4. A lovely stroke there. Take the total on to 144 for 6.
Yeah, that was a fine stroke there from Springer as he moves on to 30 runs off his 23 deliveries so far. And he'll want to play a few more of those for the Brampton Pacers to keep building this high score so far.
Yes, the Cavaliers 22 yards. They have some big hitters. Remember, they're the one who have hold that power play record of 93 runs from 6 overs.
Yeah, exactly right. And Nadav Shah bowls a nice ball there to Springer, who can only play it back to him for no runs. And 3 more balls left of the over, of the 17th over.
Yes, well, I hope they're not thinking about the hat-trick ball that's going to be coming up in the next over. But I think the party should start any time now. 4 wickets is a lot of wickets to leave in the hut. So time to get the wheels turning. They need to get at least 180 plus. Let me work this one on the onside. They're thinking 2. They're running fast, but the man coming in from the deep backward boundary was really quick. They thought of 2. He played for 2. In the end, they can only get the single. 145 for 6. Over number 17 in progress. Just 5 from these 4 deliveries. Good over so far, Sash.
Yeah, no, he's keeping it really tight, which is exactly what the Cavaliers would have wanted from Nadav Shah. He's an experienced bowler, knows what he's doing, not his first rodeo, so he will know exactly where to be placing his fielders in order to keep it tight as usual. And Ranjit Deol, the new man in the middle, he is facing his first delivery now.
Yes, the last southpaw, Colin Archibald, he was a left-hander as well. He got one delivery and he was sent back to the hut. Well, Shah, let's see what he'll do with this delivery. Bowls, and this time he's pulling. It's in the air. The man at deep backward spell is running around, but can't catch up with it. He goes over the boundary rope for 4 more.
Yeah, that went really high in the air, didn't it?
Yes, indeed. But, you know, they're playing on pitch number 2, so the boundary has gone an extra 10 meters back from the first 3 days, Sasha. That's why he did not get that 6.
Yeah, millimetres away from the ropes, but just the 4, I say just the 4, that's not too shabby. They'll be wanting to get boundaries.
Oh, he'll take that any day and twice on Sundays.
Exactly.
But like I say, that's the furthest part of the boundary. And he was really going for glory, but he fell just short. But he'll take that. 1 away from 150. Shaw comes in now. Left arm over, and this time he's getting an edge. Thinking single, but it got to the man in the gully area, so he's up in the circle. He's in the 45. And he got there quick and fast and in a hurry. So some 9 ones coming from that over. It's 149-46. Maybe we will get the attention of our official scorer, Ronnie Lal.
Mad Hatter tea break, I think, is
yes,
needed right now.
it's needed just about now. There it is. We can have a Mad Hatter tea break.
And here we come for the hat-trick ball. Ali Imran Pasha running into Springer. And that's not a bad delivery for the hat-trick ball. But no luck, no hat-trick. So he'll just stick with the 2.
Yes, for now. For now. He still have 5 deliveries left. This is over number 18. And this is his last over. As you know, no bowler can bowl more than 4 overs in this 20-over encounter. 1/5 of the over.
Swing and a miss from Springer there. He was playing with fire with that delivery.
Yes, well, he has the right idea, the right approach, right attitude. You have to be aggressive at this stage of the game. 149 for 6. Want to say good night again to all viewers. Good morning if you're just waking up. You're watching live TV on MAQ TV. He's going after him again, inside out, but on the ground. He got there to the sweeper cover quick, fast, and in a hurry. They can only manage the single.
Yeah, just a single because it was hit pretty sweetly and got to the fielder in a hurry. And so just the one they could get from that ball. And Ranjit Deol will be facing Pasha here. 150 up for the Brampton Pacers. They'll want to keep the pace up of their run scoring.
Definitely, having been sent into bat by Cavaliers 22 yards, and they've done pretty well for themselves. 150. They're going to need much more than that by my reckoning, but I think they're in a safe zone at this time. Now they have to put some more on there to get it up to about 180. They can get to 180. Let's make it a good game. Put some pressure on the 22 yards.
Here comes Pasha, and that's a full toss.
Yes, and I think, let's see.
No, looking all good. All good. So full toss and just a single from it.
And the batter is asking and saying that was above my waist, Mr. Umpire. But he will not get the call. Maybe we can see that again.
So Springer comes on strike from that single. And he will be facing Ali Imran Pasha, he's got his blood pumping at the moment. He was on a hat-trick at the beginning of this over, didn't get it, but he is playing really nicely. 2 for 20 off his 3.3 overs, and I'm sure in the next 3 he will provide some exciting bowling here.
Oh, this one is up in the air. There's a man down there who takes the catch. Wicket number 6. This one was short pitch, back pitch, dug into the turf, and the batter there, Shama Springer, beautiful knock, 32 from 27, had a wild swing at it, top touched it, and he is a corner. Oh, wicket number 6, 151 for 6. Here it comes.
Yeah, Pasha, despite not getting the hat-trick, now has 3 wickets to his name and has bowled really well here. He should be really pleased with how he's performed for the Cavaliers, who are looking for yet another win to add to their previous ones.
Yes, indeed. Well, the new batter is Mantawa. This time we're looking at it again. That one was pretty much about shoulder height, and he swatted at it like as if he was swatting flies, but can get no further than about 3/4 the way to the boundary. It was easy peasy. Took it. Even my grandma at 92 would have taken that.
Well, I'm sure she's a fine cricketer.
And Sash, you should let them know that you were a wicket keeper, one of a high standard when you played.
I would not say that at all. Was a wicket keeper, but I don't think I would be picked in any team in a hurry.
So Wandawa has joined Diol. Diol is on 5 from 3. He's got to willow. He's doing just that. That one getting up. Wicketkeeper taking that head high. And now the signal comes in. 1 for the over. So he has 1 delivery left.
So 3 for 20 so far for Pasha. He's bowled really nicely. He's putting himself in a good position for man of the match if he continues in this way.
Yes, yes indeed. He can get a 4-4 here with this delivery. He has another chance at it. He'll be bowling to Ranjit Diol.
Yeah, just 2 from the over so far. So he's been excellent for the Cavaliers. And as you say, last ball of the over.
Naughty down the leg side and strays. It was a slow delivery. The idea was right, but the guidance was outside the leg stump. Would have been a perfect delivery for the right-hander. Sometimes these bowlers forgot they're bowling to a left-hander and they keep their line outside that stump. It's funny, that same stump, which is off stump, all of a sudden turned to leg stump because of the batting style of the batter.
Yeah, and it was a shake of the head from Pasha there. He was annoyed at himself for letting a loose ball go there. He was only 2 from the over and 3 from it now.
Well, it was a wicket-taking delivery, except that it was off the mark. It was a slow delivery. So he was thinking. He's thinking number 4. Here he comes. It's getting on the edge, and he goes out to the deep backward square leg and goes across the boundary rope for 4. So he ends his spell with a 4. So it's 3 for 25 from his 4. He's done and dusted for the night. Good work, pal. You can go and put your feet up. 156 for 7, which indeed is the latest score here at the Broward County Stadium.
So partnership of 5 between the 2 batters at the crease for the Brampton Pacers. After 18 overs, they are 156 for 7, losing a wicket in the last over. But only 12 deliveries left. What do you reckon they're going to get to?
Let's see, 175.
Okay, 175 is the call from the commentary box. Let's see what the Pacers can do in order to get there.
They're new batters, but they have to go for the glory. This is the penultimate over, but Shah is... Oh, he's not going to get... Oh, he's in danger of being run out here, and he's gone. The golden arm of Shah. The batsman was left stranded. He wanted to get off strike, I think, but I have to recalculate. Now with wicket number 8 down, and they have not scored, it's going to be hard ass to score another 20 runs. I was giving them 10 runs per over. But with 2 wickets to go, Sash, I have to recalculate.
Yeah, what are you going for now?
6 from this over, 6 from next 12 more. 12. Maximum 12.
Okay, well, that was a really good throw from the bowler, Nadaf Shah. He bowled a lovely ball into Randhara, and he just dabbed it back to him. It was a slight misfield from Nadaf Shah, so he thought he could get the single, a quick single there, but Deal at the other end said, no, I'm not moving. And so he had to turn around and run back in order to get back into his crease, but it was a lovely throw straight onto the stumps from Nadaf Shah, and he was well out when the ball smashed into the stumps and lights came on, and Brampton Pacers fall to 156 for 8.
Yes, indeed. Well, for the 12 runs will take them to 168. So let us see if my prediction gonna hold true.
Siddiqui, the new man for the Brampton Pacers, as Nadaf Shah comes bounding in again, and I think that's going to be a wide. And Nadaf Shah...
So I say, come on, man. He would have touched him. He would have touched his clothing on the way back. He touched something.
Yeah.
But he did not touch the glove with the hand holding the bat. So at least, you know, he's not appealing for caught behind. So which part of him that ball would have touched? 0-1 for the over? Was it over the shoulder?
Yeah. Agree with the umpire there. That was very much over the shoulder of Siddiqui, the new man. And
well, another one would be a no ball. So let's see if he's going to go that way.
Here comes Nadaf Shah. And
Down
that's
the leg side. That one pitched outside the leg stump. Most definitely. So leg byes.
Let's see that again.
Pitch outside the leg stump. So a duck farm has started with golden ducks. That's what we've been told here in the com box.
So Deal on strike now, 158 for 8. Their run rate is 88.6. They'll want to get that above 9 if they can.
At one stage they were going at 11, over 11 and over. So wickets, nothing put you back behind the clock more than losing wickets.
And the bowling's been really good from the Cavaliers. Nadaf Shah, 1 wicket to his name, but also the lovely run out that we saw at the beginning of this over.
Oh, lights, camera, action, bowled him, neck and crop. And they're in danger of being bowled out here. They are in danger, the Brampton Pacers, who started very well, and now they're in danger of being bowled out. 158 for 9.
Yeah, I take back my previous statement. 2 wickets to Nadaf Shah's name, 2 for 33 off his 3.3, and as I mentioned before, the run out, the lovely shy at the stumps that saw the wicket previous to this one, and now we're going to have 2 new batsmen at the crease.
Yes, batting or not, look, here it comes, from hand to the bottom of the stumps. He needed no assistance, but they should have known that. He would have just had a run out, so his arm was aiming right. So he would have struck twice in that over, but one with a run out, but he does not get credit in the wicket column. Oh, cricket is such a hard game. He would have knocked over those pegs for the run out, but he does not get credit for the wicket.
No, he will be mentioned on the scorecard, but as you say, it only has 2 wickets in his column. He'll be looking for the third though now. 1 wicket to go before the Brampton Pacers are all out. And Nadav Shah smelling blood here, final man in. Let's see what he can do with his next delivery.
Well, this one been steered away for a single. So he gets off the mark.
Yeah, puts the seasoned Siddiqui in, who's seen at least one more delivery than him.
Yes, well, Lenny said there's a duck farm. There's so many zeros were on the board here a while ago. So which one of these geese are going to lay the golden egg?
2 more balls left of the 19th over here. 159 for 9, the Brampton Pacers. Cavaliers won the toss and put the Pacers in, and they have done a good job at keeping them to just under 160 so far.
Yes, the second half really belongs to them. This time he's a Yorker again. Came down in it just in the nick of time. He was speeding at that off stump. There was a loud appeal for LBW earlier, and Shah thought he was a bit undone, but from our advantage point, it was clearly pitched outside the leg stump. So good call there by the umpire. But Sash, I heard someone say you were on radio this morning.
I was, yeah. I managed to speak to BBC Radio London back home, just giving them a little update on what's going on over here in the US. And yeah, they were really, really pleased to hear all about it. Obviously a few Englishmen over here as well, so all looking good back home. And that's a lovely ball from Nadav Shah, last ball of his 4 overs. And will they just settle for the 1? I think they will. So lovely last over there from Nadav Shah, and he finishes 2 for 36 off his 4 overs.
Yeah, a bit expensive, but the damage was already done up front in the first 10 overs when Walton was under charge. But 161, am I going to get 168? That was my final prediction. We have all of 6 balls in which to do so, but it's only 1 wicket that is left in the hut.
Yeah, their current run rate at 8.5 and over. Like I say, they'd probably want it to be above 9 if they could, but with these 2 new batsmen at the crease, it's looking unlikely at the moment, I would say.
As a matter of fact, I have to correct myself. There's no wicket left in the hut. There's no batters. This is the last pair at the wicket.
And a new bowler comes to the attack. Interesting to put a new bowler in at this stage of the innings.
Well, I guess because we have, can I say 2 rabbits at this time? In cricket, we call them a rabbit when they're the lower order. But they might just prove us wrong. They might be able to get 36 runs from this over. Who knows?
It's not impossible.
No, not impossible at all. Well, it's not going to get it that way, but they might get 6 singles.
Yeah, so good first ball from Nadir here. And that rhymes nicely.
Yes.
So just a single from it. Brampton Pacers 162 for 9. 5 deliveries left of this innings.
Yes, you're a poet. Oh, that's good. And you were on a local radio station here this morning also. Spoke with Leon Francis.
I did, yes, and that was also very enjoyable. I've had a busy day today, haven't I?
Very busy day. You're most popular lady, yes.
And probably the highlight was interviewing Brian Lara, which you will see on MAQ TV. But we come to...
Oh, look at this. First of its kind.
I think Siddiqui had his eyes closed when he did that. But it has gone all the way to the boundary, and he gets a 4. And, well, I mean, he looked pretty cool doing that, despite the fact that he had no idea what he was doing by the looks of it. But it's paid off. It's paid off.
That's over the shoulder. We have to describe that. That's one. We should see that. That's one for the highlight reel. I've never seen that one. You have to call that one over the right shoulder. Normally it's over the left shoulder, but this one was played over the right shoulder. We should see that again. That's good camera work there too, and the replay would have showed it. My word, that has to be on the highlight. He must have practiced that over and over and over again. He's giving himself room, hits his one in the air, 1 bounce to the mid-off. Am I going to get my 168, my prediction?
You're not far off, but that was a good ball from Nadir. As you said, Siddiqui giving himself room, but Nadir managed to follow him with the ball, so couldn't quite get a hold of it and couldn't get the big swing, and no runs from that last delivery. So Nadir in again for ball number 4 of his first over, and that
Up in the air, and the man takes the catch. So I fell short by 2, Sasha, and the cardinal sin has been realized. All 10 wickets would have fallen, and I always say I think that's a cardinal sin to lose 10 wickets in 20 overs. But good comeback here by the Cavaliers, 22 yards. They were under the gun, especially when Walton was batting. We're going to see this, and we look at the replay before the scorecard, and he's going, settles, takes the catch, 10th man down, innings close with 2 balls to spare, and Sasha will read you the scorecard.
Yeah, so Brampton Pacers all out for 166. We saw Chadwick Walton scoring nicely. He was 43 off 24 deliveries. Radhara, he was out for a golden duck. Mark Dayal had a nice cameo, 22 runs off it. Paul Palmer was out LBW for 4. Harsh Thacker had a lovely innings for 35. And Springer also 32 runs. Colin Archibald was another man for the golden duck. And Deal got 9 runs off 6. Another golden duck run out by Nadav Shah was Jagdeep Ranhara, and Siddiqui 5 off 5, and not out, left stranded at the end, had Marzi 3 off 3. 13 extras, and Brampton Pacers ended 166 all out. So let's have a look at the bowlers. So Ali Imran Pasha, 3 wickets for his 25 runs of 4 overs. He's definitely top of the wickets taking this time. 2 wickets for Nadav Shah and Stephen Taylor. 1 wicket for Kareem Agor and Junaid Nadir, who got the last wicket. And as I say, 13 extras, and after 19.4 overs, the Brampton Pacers all out for 166. So we're going to take a quick innings break, and when we return, the Cavaliers 22 yards will be batting 167 the target. We will see you shortly.
So welcome back to the feed. Welcome back to the chase. It's 167 needed from 120 balls. Stephen Taylor and Chandrapal Hemraj out in the middle. And Mark Dial, the off spinner, has been given the ball. So two left-handers and perhaps a good ploy to bowl the off spin. Good bit of matchup here. I'm joined in the box with Anilesh Mehta. Anilesh, 8.3 is the ask as Mark Dial comes in to bowl to Taylor. Taylor gets a good delivery, and this should be a very good chase here from Cavaliers, 22 yards.
Indeed. The only concern or the question that I would have is, will the dew factor play a role?
Well, over time, most of the play. Oh, bowled him! So Mark Dial has gotten through the defense of Stephen Taylor, and look at that, second ball into the chase. Taylor is gone.
Look at that delivery as we see the replay in a moment. He was forward defensive stroke, all ends beaten up. Stephen Taylor was going for just a defensive shot, Lenny. It wasn't a stroke to hoist the delivery out of the park, and it spun and removed the off bail.
So big strike early here from Mark Dial. He's a quality cricketer, Mark Dial, as we see Stephen Taylor makes the long walk back to the players' pavilion. And so he's gone. Chandrapal Hemraj just making sure that the conditions out in the middle there, a little bit of gardening. And it appears Xavier Marshall comes in at number 3. So under pressure is Cavaliers 22 yards. Having lost Stephen Taylor, it was just a second ball of the inning. And so big blow here, courtesy of Mark Dial.
The new pair will have to start from scratch, having lost the prize wicket of Stephen Taylor. As Mark Dial now gets ready to bowl the third delivery of the first over.
And so anxious moment here for Cavaliers, 22 yards as Marshall comes out. And Marshall has had a couple of lean innings. In fact, you look at his scores in the 3 games so far, 1, 1 and 36. So that tells you he's had a couple of failures and 136. So he comes in here with a lot to be done. And considering we're just into a couple of balls in the game, brilliant ball from Mark Dial.
Both experienced cricketers by any stretch of imagination, and certainly they have a chase that is 167, quite gettable, par score I would imagine.
Yes, Nilesh, we've seen 165, 175 holding up here in the stadium. But this is a powerful put together Cavaliers 22 yards team. They have lost one of their big batters, Stephen Taylor. And now Xavier Marshall, he comes out. He will have to play an inning of some quantity here, and still 167 to win from 117 balls, asking 8.5 runs and over. So he's driving and driving well. They scamper through for a single, and that'll bring the attacking Chandrapal Hemraj. He's in ripping form, Hemraj, and he will have to bat Cavaliers 22 yard out of some early trouble tonight.
Absolutely, and with the southpaw at the crease, we've known what kind of stroke play he is capable of. So he can certainly light up the ground here under the floodlights here at the Broward County Stadium.
And Nilesh, what may have happened here, we'll talk about that as Chandrapal gets ready to face his first ball. Taking on the pad, big appeal from Mark Dial, not to say his umpire Aditya Gajar. And the ball goes bouncing out towards the onside for a dot ball. And I think with 2 left-handers in Stephen Taylor and Chandrapal Hemraj, they may have played into the plan of Mark Dial, who gets the ball to come across the left-hander.
Very good point, Lenny.
So final ball coming up, and that's another quality delivery. Gets an inside edge, and it goes up towards a short backward square, and that will complete the first over. A successful one for Mark Dial. 2 on the board, 1 wicket down.
13th US Open Cricket 2021 Fantasy Sports. Create your dream 11 and win exciting prizes. Log in www.usopenfantasy.com.
It's Harsh Thakkar bowling to Hemraj.
Oh, smashed into the onside. That has gone a long way. Chandrapal Hemraj, he has pulled out one. And that's a good relief shot here for Cavaliers, 22 yards.
Absolutely. He's not wasting any time. A nice warm welcome to Harsh Thakkar as he pulled that one over the mid-wicket fence, comfortably going over the boundary ropes for 6 runs.
And the thing is with Chandrapal Hemraj, he times the ball so sweetly. Sometimes he looks very effortless and the ball flies a very long way. And so not a good greeting here from Harsh Thakkar. Harsh Thakkar has had a very good series, Nilesh. He got among the runs on all the occasion that he has batted. He got 31, 43, 63, and he got runs today. And not only that, he is one of 2 bowlers in the series who would have picked up a 5-wicket haul. Him and another bowler called Hamza Tahir.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
So they're playing their trump cards towards the front end of what has happened here. Marshall comes in to strike. And ball pushed back to the bowler. And we all know Xavier Marshall probably will like the quicker stuff. And the boys here deciding that perhaps with Marshall out in the middle, a good chance for them to bowl some slow stuff. He steers this one away, running up towards the third man area. And they'll come back for a couple of runs. So Marshall will pick up 2 more. He goes up to 3. And look at that, all the ones on the board, 11 for 1.
11 for 1 it is. And Marshall on 3 and Hemraj on 8.
So Marshall on strike. And Nilesh, from time to time I've gone to a lot of places, and whenever we've done games with Chandrapal Hemraj, we'll talk about that in the next over. But 9 in the over so far. Marshall on strike. They've lost the wicket of Stephen Taylor quite early, just a couple of balls into the innings. And a big strike from Mark Dial. Oh, Marshall is driving, beaten outside the off stump. That will complete over number 2. And at the end of 2, it's 11 for 1.
On that last delivery, Harsh went around the wicket to try and change the angle when he was bowling. And it did pay dividends because the batsman missed it. And we were well within the crease, so there was no stumping chance. But a small victory for Harsh at the last ball of that over.
Certainly the angle certainly creating a bit of problem. And Xavier Marshall, along with Chandrapal Hemraj, Xavier Marshall has been called up by the US selectors to play against Ireland in just on the 22nd of December. So not too long from now. And Chandrapal Hemraj has just returned from the Abu Dhabi T10 series, in which he had an excellent series considering he was a replacement to one of the other players there. He's in ripping form, this Chandrapal Hemraj. And he's going to be a very key man here in their pursuit to pull over 155 from 107 balls. But just coming back to Chandrapal Hemraj, you asked off the record if Chandrapal Hemraj is related to Shiv Narayan Chandrapal. A lot of people outside of the West Indies are always a little bit confused as to Chandrapal and Chandrapal, Shiv Chandrapal. They're 2 different people. They're certainly not related. And Chandrapal Hemraj, who's playing here today, is not the son of Shiv Chandrapal. In fact, Chandrapal does have his son Brandon Chandrapal that plays first-class cricket for Guyana, Oh, lofted into the darkness. And this has gone a long way here from Xavier Marshall. So he picks up a 6 off the bowling of Mark Dial. It's 18 for 1. The good looking shot here from Marshall.
Yeah, look at that replay. He hoisted that one right to the left of the side screen, and luckily the ball was retrieved as the fielder had to jump over the hoardings over there.
So Shiv Chandrapal's son is named Tej Narayan Chandrapal. So that's the son of Shiv. But Chandrapal Hemraj is a totally different person. That's the man batting here today. Certainly no relation to the Shiv Chandrapal who would have played Test cricket and that sort for the West Indies.
And correct me if I'm wrong, the spelling is also different. Chandrapal is here and that is Chandarpal.
Yep, that's correct. So 18 for 1. Marshall and Hemraj, they're fighting back. And this time Marshall gets a ball that he turns into the onside and will pick up an easy single. Brings Hemraj back on strike. And Nilesh a long way to go. 148 from 104 ball. The asking rate is 8.5. They're going a 7.1. And so things have just started here.
I think they've started off reasonably well. A somewhat sedate start by T20 analysis as Dayal gets ready. Right arm around the wicket.
When you look at the points table, so this one has eluded Chadwick Walton, the keeper, running up towards the fine leg boundary. And they'll come back for a couple. We'll wait and see the signal from the umpire. No signal from the umpire. So a couple of runs there for Chandrapal Hemraj. And he goes up to what, 11 from 6 balls.
It appears that Dayal was asking some questions, Lenny. They've been declared as leg byes.
Yeah, finally one of those delayed signal. I thought it came off the leg or the equipment. And no call from the umpire, but that has been corrected. 21 on the board. Hemraj gets a very good delivery here from Mark Dial. He's a very good customer. And so that completes over number 3. It's 21 for 1. They've lost the wicket of Stephen Taylor.
MAQ Group is the real estate investment company. Our goal at MAQ Group is to provide you with the expertise and service you need to do business in today's complex market. More information visit macgroup.com.
So Harsh Takar will continue. First of all, would have gone for 9 Nilesh. And it's 21 for 1. They will have to survive without Stephen Taylor for now. Go ahead.
This time he just tucks it away to short mid-on, no run. As Marshall gets set to face the next delivery from Harsh.
So here is Harsh Takar. And Marshall off the back foot can't score. So a deliberate ploy to bowl some spin here early. And they still have Junaid Siddiqui, a quality right arm leg spinner to come. Shamar Springer bowls seam. And we'll have to wait and see who else has been used into the attack. Ball turned into the onside, can't score. And this over's gone pretty well here for Harsh Takar, 3-dot ball.
Just a quick clarification for everybody listening. It is not Harsh Takar, it's Harsh Takar. And as he bowls and just plays it back to short mid-off, no run. We don't want to be harsh on Harsh and keep his pronunciation accurate.
So we've seen 4-dot ball so far. And this has been a very good over here from Takar. And this one, here we go. 5-dot balls in a row here. Marshall being kept on a very tight rein here, Nilesh.
Absolutely. And coming to bowl the last delivery of this over. And this time he punches it towards long on for a quick single as the score moves on to 21 for the loss of 1 wicket for the Cavaliers. 22, I beg your pardon.
So 4 overs gone. We've seen a couple of overs from Mark Dial. We've seen a couple from Takar. And so far 22 for 1. They've lost the wicket. Second ball into the innings. That of Stephen Taylor, completely beaten and bowled by Mark Dial. That one that went through the gate. And so far we've seen a 22-run partnership, of course, from Xavier Marshall and Chandra Paul Hemraj.
Getting back to the name of Harsh. Harsh in the language means happiness. So it's Harsh Happy Tucker.
Nice.
The way he has bowled so far, he should be happy. Springer is the new bowler, Lenny, as he will be bowling to Xavier Marshall, who's batting on 11 of 15 deliveries.
So Springer had a good knock with the bat. He, along with Harsh Takar, put on a sizable partnership. Shamar Springer got 32 earlier on. So we'll come into bowl to Xavier Marshall. And I get a feeling that Xavier Marshall is quite a lot more comfortable with the ball coming onto the bat as a batsman who is not.
And that time he cuts and cuts hard, but straight to the field right point, which doesn't get him any runs. Marshall remains on 11, Chandrapal on 9.
So Shamar Springer would have been part of the Atlanta Fire contingent, part of the minor league series not too long ago. And Marshall is working this one up to short mid-on. They're quickly running well. And every run will count. 144 still needed from 94 balls. They're asking 9 and over. And they're well below, not even close to 9 at the moment, but still early days yet. But we have seen some tidy bowling from Mark. We've seen some tidy bowling from Takar. And now Shamar Springer's bowled a couple of balls into his first spell.
So far, the dew factor does not appear to have played any major role from what we can see from the comm box. But we see Springer coming up.
Oh, lofted into the onside. Look at that. Chandra Paul Hemraj picks up another 6. And that's all timing and power from the man. 6 more runs to Chandra Paul Hemraj.
There was a lovely stroke on the onside over deep mid-on, right near the floodlights. And it was all timing that led to that 6. I think they're waiting for the ball to be retrieved.
Yeah, Chandra Paul Hemraj has been in ripping form. He's had a very good CPL and then would have replaced someone to go to the Abu Dhabi T10. Did well over there. The very short form of the game, one of the shortest format we see these days. 50% shorter than T20.
How much shorter is going to get is the question.
So Shamar Springer under some bit of pressure here. He's gone for 7 off the over so far. And heading down the leg side. Chadwick Walton does well to keep the ball safe. Signal wide. And that one will have to be rebowled.
Almost seemed like an extra effort delivery by Springer. And that resulted in a wide, which Chandrapal tried to deflect on the onside but could not connect on that occasion. 30 for 1 Cavaliers.
So good pace here from Shamar Springer. Now he decides to come around the wicket? Is that no, over the wicket? And we'll come into bowl to Hemraj, who's batted well so far. Look at that, straight down the ground with all the ease in the world. Take that, hit the side screen. And another 6 off the bat of Chandra Paul Hemraj.
You know, when you talk about disrespecting the bowler, Lenny, look at that shot. I mean, that was right in the middle of the side screen, and that's a magnificent 6.
A shot like that, when the ball comes back, I'm pretty sure the umpire will have to have an examination of that ball just to make sure it's still in shape Big shot from Chandrapal Hemraj. Oh, look at that! Pulled into the onside, over square leg, and that's gone even further than the ones that we have seen. Chandrapal Hemraj on the charge, 20 runs in this over.
Look at those two strokes, back to back. And the first one was right over the side screen, and the second one, he pulled it with utter disdain over the mid-wicket boundary. So two lovely strokes. Springer will have to do some thinking now, Lenny.
Campbell short to Chandrapal Hemraj, and then of course the irony is you can't pitch it up, so where do you bowl? He's a very, very talented player. He strikes the ball hard, he's in form, and he gets a good delivery from Shamar Springer, and so that completes 5, and after 5 is 42 for 1.
Xavier Marshall on 12 from 17, but Chandrapal Hemraj on 27 from 11. We've just witnessed back-to-back sixes, but now that the score is on 42 for 1, let's see if I have to stand in the 40s for any one of these batters. I'm sure Sasha is not going to allow me to get through with that. Welcome back, Sasha.
Hello, welcome to you as well. And hello to everyone watching on MAQ TV. Cavaliers 42 for 1, and big appeal there from Siddiqui, but umpire wasn't having any of it.
Now they're clearly going down the leg side. Siddiqui in more hopes than to realize no way that would hit a 6 stump going down the leg side. It was always sliding going down. Umpire is not going to make that mistake. A partnership of 42. Stephen Taylor gone bowled neck and crop in the first over. Didn't contribute to the total of 42. So he's back in the hut. We have, this is the last over of the power play. If this team would have hold on to the power play record of 93 in the 6th over of the power play in this tournament.
Yeah, Siddiqui bowling nicely at the moment, no runs from it, and they were on 8.4 run rate and right on track to get the total that they need. However, these few dot balls have really brought their current run rate down, so they're going to need to keep pressing at it. And that is a nice shot down onto the leg side. I think they'll just get the single from it, so not pushing too hard at the moment. It's still early doors. Don't want to lose any more wickets at this point, I think, is the more important thing.
Yes, 167, that is required for victory. And with Hemraj in there and going for glory early in the innings, that's the man who'll have to get out. Xavier Marshall, I'm sure he's going to be called up for duties shortly against the Irish. Ireland comes to town to play against the US here on the 20th of this month. And he too going to want to have a look in and stay in and have a good knock and a good feel, because those matches are going to be played right here on this ground. Hemraj is whacking this one out to wide long on, and the ambles through for a single.
Yeah, full toss there from Siddiqui, but he's managed to get away with it there. And 44 for 1 is the total here, with 1 ball left of the power play, 1 ball left of Siddiqui's first over.
Yeah, he's gone well so far. Just 2 runs coming from it. And to think that he would have bowled at least a delivery to Chandrapal Hemraj, who was on the charge in the last over, hitting back-to-back sixes. This time he's going inside out, and he has gone for maximum. So the very last ball was struck out of the park and brings up the 50 in the power play, 50 for 1.
Yeah, so that is the end of the power play. Cavaliers 50 for 1. Partnership of 50. And Siddiqui was bowling really nicely. And unfortunately just goes for the 6 off his last ball. So 8 off his first over. Hemraj 28 off 12. And Xavier Marshall 19 off 22.
Well, Stinch's been...
MAQ Group is the real estate investment company. Our goal at MAQ Group is to provide you with the expertise and service you need to do business in today's complex market. More information visit maqgroup.com.
Yes, so back from that break. So it's going to be Shandapal Hemraj who's going to be on strike. Dial, the lone wicket taker, who would have bowled tail and neck and crop, comes back in for his second spell as this one was worked on the onside down to fine leg for 2.
$52 for 1 after 6.1 overs. As you can see, they are right on track with the run rate, 8.4 and only 8.3 required. So doing well so far. And again, pushed onto the onside. No one there. Are they going to try and push for 2? No, just stay for the single. Again, they probably could have tried for the 2 there. Would have put the bowler Dayal under pressure because no one was there to field it otherwise. But they're just going to settle for the single. And Marshall is now on strike.
Yes, he's looked good. He's looked the part, Marshall, since he has come to join Hemraj. I'd like to say the partnership is all of 53 because
good delivery from Dayal there, and Marshall can only dab it back to him. No runs, so 3 off the over so far, 3 to come.
he's pulling over the wicket off a short run and he's driving and he's placing it well, but he can only get 1 for his effort because wide long off runs to the left and converge on that one and prevent the thought of 2.
54 for 1, the Cavaliers, and they are on track to reaching the big total that the Brampton Pacers put on. Brampton Pacers all out in their previous innings. As you can see, their target 167, but they were 166 all out. So well bowled from the Cavaliers, who are now batting nicely. 54 for 1, as I said. Another dot ball there from Mark Dayal. He is in his 3rd over, 2nd spell. And he is the man with the wicket, the early wicket of the Cavaliers innings. And he's going to want to strike again if he can. Just dab down onto the offside. Again, dot ball. So at the end of the over, just 4 from it. Dayal will be pleased with that.
Yes, indeed. He ends with 2 dots. So 3 dots in the over. And it's about a good time to get a break at this time. Matt had a tea. And they also have coffee. So a cup of tea and some coffee. It's a good time for that break. So welcome back, and we'll be continuing from this to southern end, and it's going to be Siddiqui to continue his 2nd over. His 1st over was a good one, just 8 coming from it.
That big 6 though ruined his stats. He was going for just 2, and then I think it was his last ball got smacked for a 6. So as you say, good over, but that 6 would have ruined what was an excellent over.
Well, he's driving, and there's coverage down there. They won the first one, a relaxing one, so there was a fumble on the boundary, but they never thought of taking 2. Hemraj is happy to be on strike.
Harsh Thacker, the man doing the fielding on the boundary just below us. And he batted really nicely, didn't he?
Yes, indeed. But the fell away in the last 10. There was on par to get much more than the 166 what they got. And the cardinal sin was experienced. It was all of the 10 wickets was fallen, and I don't like that in 2020 overs. Hemraj is going sky high, but he doesn't have the distance, have the height. The man is running in, and he dropped it. And he's disgusted with himself. He's beating the turf as if to say, it's your fault. The turf moved from under his feet and caused him to drop that one, I guess.
Yeah, Mark Dale, the man running in from the deep for the catch, and just couldn't get the ball in his hands. And Hemraj lives to fight another day.
Yes, he did all the hard work getting there. To be honest, he came from a long way, but the ball was really, really high in the air. But Junaid Siddiqui, he's bowling well. He's bowling that back of the hand stuff, flighting well, putting some revs on that ball. So Shanda Paul tried to get under it to get it over and beyond the boundary ropes. Here it is, bowling nicely, nice and straight, feeling good to his own bowling.
Yeah, going back to that dropped catch, as we're playing under the lights and getting into the evening, there is a little bit more moisture out there on the pitch, and I just wonder if the ball was maybe a little bit wet and maybe it slipped out of his hands. Just thinking of any ways that can give him an excuse for that drop.
Yes. A good lawyer. It's a good defense lawyer. But anyway, I think the night drew, yes, it's coming in, it's setting in. We're under lights here at the stadium. And you would have said it right, Sasha, the only ICC approved venue in all of North America, which includes Canada.
Siddiqui in again, and that's just pushed away, and we'll go back to Mark Dayal in the deep, and they'll settle for the single. So one ball left of Siddiqui's second over. Cavaliers 57 for 1.
Well, let's see if there'll be a repeat. His last ball was carted out of the park in the last over, having bowled relatively some good deliveries. He would have only gone for 2 last over until he was struck for the 6. Now he's at the same mark. Let's go. And he's driving a pleasant shot to the offside, and it's gone for 4. So he gives up a boundary of his last delivery on these 2 occasions when he would have bowled his last ball outside the off stump. A good looking shot. It was in the air, but it was never in any danger of getting out. As we come to the end of over number 8, and it's time to take a break. Should we go house shopping? Maybe we shall. Maybe we should.
MAQ Group is the real estate investment company. Our goal at MAQ Group is to provide you with the expertise and service you need to do business in today's complex market. More information, visit maqgroup.com.
You would have gone house shopping there? Rent, sell, or buy? Which one of the 3 are you taking?
Well, I'd love to buy, but I'd probably settle for the renting at the moment.
Renting? Okay. Have no responsibility, no taxes to be paid. You let the owners pay the taxes, you just pay your rent.
Live in some nice places if you can.
Okay, we're going to have a change of bowling from the far end.
Yeah, it looks like the batsmen have left the middle for the moment. I think they were just having some water.
No, we called it a message in a bottle.
Just getting some strategy advice from the sidelines. And probably a little drink or two, despite the fact that we are in the dark over here at the moment under the lights. It's still hot out there and very humid. So the batsman will need to take just a little break before coming back.
Oh, this one is into the night sky and out of the playing area for yet another US Open maximum.
Yeah, Springer doesn't even know where that's gone. And fielder has had to go finding it behind the sight screen there.
It was a lovely shot. So Xavier Marshall, he's come to the party. Like you said, the message came out in a bottle, and the very next delivery, it was out of here.
Yeah, I reckon from the sidelines they were they were told that this partnership's looking good, but you might need to start swinging a little bit more just to make sure that that required run rate doesn't get too ahead of them. As you can see here, required run rate of 8.4, and they're currently going at 8.2, so right on track. And here we go again.
Shahid is under the pump, but it brings a defensive stroke here from Marshall, so that's a good comeback.
Yeah, 68 for 1 off 8.2 overs. And Hemraj, the man, back on strike.
Well, Said is coming in for his first over. He has gone for 7 from just 2 deliveries.
Not the start he would have wanted, I'd assume. But here he comes again for his third delivery. And that is a wider delivery. Oh, and wide is given. Took a little second for the umpire to just make up his mind. And yes, wide delivery called.
Correctly called. He was sliding right across the batsman. He started wide and ended wide. So the umpire was in no difficulty. Just that, I think that is. Oh, this one is in the air. He does not have the height, but he's going to be falling safely as the man from the boundary was about 2-3 steps short. So that's the second time we've seen Hemraj miss it. DL would have given him a chance. He did all the hard work, got his palms on it, and butted fingers, it fell through. This time he's sweeping and sweeping, but there's a man down there, but he's not going to be able to stop it. It was away from him, so that's a good-looking shot again. Xavier Marshall is on the charge.
Yeah, Harsh Thacker, the man again on the boundary. He was running around, but the ball was just hit too fine for him to reach it. And as you say, another 4 goes on to the total. 74 for 1 off 8.4 overs.
Yeah, that one was badly lined. It was a wayward delivery. Got the treatment, but you still have to put him away, even though he started badly. He's bowling round the wicket. He's got to bowl a little straighter. That's the ball. That's the ball. Yorker length, the batsman was in 2 minds whether to drive or whether to get under it. And in the end, he just bunted. There it is. Chandrapal is telling him you should have used your feet. Yes, his feet was anchored in cement. Again, it's anchored, but he's using the wrist to turn it off the legs for a single. I'm wondering if he's stealing the overs, because for a change, we did not see from the last delivery from the southern end. But it's about time again that we take a break and rest our voices. Time for a cup of tea. Well, Sasha has had enough of tea. No, she never, ever had enough of tea. But it's always a good time for the Mad Hatter tea. It's always a good time. And there's also the mushroom tea as well.
Yeah, tea and coffee always flowing up here in the commentary box. And as we move into the 10th over, the Cavaliers are 75 for 1 at the moment. And Shahid back into the attack. He went for 14 off his first over, so big over to start. He's going to want to keep that a little bit more economical this time round.
But I think the Cavaliers 22 yard will have it no other way but to continue scoring. They've got to target bowlers, and apparently Shahid is one of the target bowlers. He's gone for 15 already. Down the leg side, you can see that from here. It's sliding down leg. And you can see Xavier Marshall with a shake of his head to say, come on, man. Look at this. Look at this. Going down the leg side. Most definitely going down the leg side. Good call there, umpire. That's some good umpiring right there.
92 to win off 65 balls. And apologies, it's Siddiqui bowling his third over. He's gone for 15 so far off his 2.1.
We always have to remember that the umpires are human. They're not going to cheat. We're due to make a mistake along the way, because the human factor comes in where in umpiring, especially in LBWs, it's a judgment call. But of course, the law will tell you if it pitches outside the leg stump, you're not going to be out. Other than that, you've got to consider a whole lot of things before you can give that guy out LBW. So they're human.
Yeah, and I think with the introduction of the reviewing system, it has made it a lot more. Well, it's given the batsman a lot more opportunity to review review balls that they think was clearly not out, that when given, and more often than not, the umpires are actually correct, and so no review system here because the umpires are always right.
Yes, but I don't like the call about clipping an umpire's call. I don't. If a ball is hitting with enough force to remove those bails, I'm saying you should always be out. But if the umpire feels it's clipping and they like the batsman, Sandapal is on the charge here, but he hits it straight down the throat of the man down here sporting the number 24 on his jersey. So he's not going to be free time lucky. He got a chance about 2 overs ago when Dial put him down, and it was a narrow escape following. Here he comes.
Yeah, Harsh Thakur, the one taking the catch there, and he'll be really pleased with that. And as I say, it pretty much came straight down his throat. So Chandrapal Hemraj goes for 37 off his 20 deliveries. Siddiqui strikes, and Cavaliers fall to 76 for 2.
Yes, well, the partnership has ended 76 because Stephen Taylor did not trouble the scores. He came in a hurry. He came for a short time and not for a good time. Tonight, he went for a duck. And he would have started a duck farm, but no one followed in his footsteps because Xavier is there on 35 from 36. Hemraj just gone for 37. And while Sasa finished these 2 next deliveries, it's a good time for me to say good night and take my leave. So you'll have the next 2 deliveries.
So Syed Ali, the new man at the crease, he'll be facing Siddiqui for the 5th ball of his 3rd over. And Siddiqui just having a look around, making sure everyone's in the correct position before he bowls to the new man. Hemraj out for 37, and the Cavaliers 76 for 2.
Hello, Sasha.
Hello, welcome. We've got 2 more balls left of the 10th over. Cavaliers are 76 for 2, target of 167, and that is a nice looking shot by Syed Ali. First ball faced, and that was played nicely down into the offside for a single. So off the strike and off the mark.
Absolutely. Marshall continues his stroke play, building his innings slowly as he continues in 36 deliveries, 35 runs.
It's been a really good over from Siddiqui, 2 off it, and the all-important wicket that the Brampton Pacers were looking for needed to break that big partnership, and Siddiqui is the man to do so. And here he comes in for the last ball of his 3rd over, and that is just dabbed back to the bowler by Marshall, who's down on his knees. And at the end of the 10th over, halfway stage, Cavaliers 77 for 2. And I am going to leave you in the capable hands of Lenny Archbold.
As we have a Mad Hatter break. Ali and Marshall stitching the partnership together as the Cavaliers are 77 for 2 as I welcome Lenny back in the comm box.
Thank you, Nilesh. And so 90 to win from 60 balls from the remaining 10 overs. Marshall has batted well. And Saad Ali has come out here at the fall of Chandrapal Hemraj's wicket. So a long way to go.
Harsh Tucker from the opposite end now. He was bowling from the commentators' end previously.
So ball stroked into the offside. And they go through for a quick single. So Cavaliers 22 yards. A long task ahead of them. 89 to win from 59 balls. Chandrapal Hemraj batted extremely well and carried the fight to the bowler. And in that process, Nilesh, he was scoring quickly when given the opportunity to. So ball swung into the backward square area. Fielder in the ring and preventing any chance of a run. This has been a very good over here from Harsh Tucker.
I think they are waiting for the sweep stroke, and they have two fielders on the side, right arm around the wicket. As this time he places the ball to deep square leg and they amble across for a single. Thought about a second run, but decided against it. So Marshall moves on to 36, Ali on 2, 79 for 2, the Cavaliers.
So we've seen very good bowling from Mark Diyal. Harsh Tucker, who's bowling here. Junaid Siddiqui, 3 overs, no men, 1 for 14. And we saw a little bit of expensive stuff from Shamar Springer. This one is played out towards the offside, can't score, so asking 9.4 and they're going at 7.4.
Singles obviously will unfortunately keep the asking rate keep going up. Harsh bowls around the wicket. And this time he tucks it to mid-wicket and they run for a single and they come back for a quick second run, Lenny.
Yeah, good running there from Saeed Ali and Xavier Marshall. And so Cavaliers 22 yards. They've enjoyed good trips to the US Open over the years. But they're locked into a battle here looking to not only qualify but to certainly play for placements. As tonight, after this match, it will certainly decide who gets to the number 1, 2, and 3 spots. So 11 overs gone, 82 for 2.
I think Harsh will be happy to get looking at his bowling average, 3 overs, 15 runs, and he has one more over left in this game.
MAQ Group is a real estate investment company. Our goal at MAQ Group is to provide
So
you with the
Siddiqui,
expertise and service you need to do.
So Siddiqui comes back into the attack and start by giving up a single towards the onside. And Junaid Siddiqui, as we made mention, would have played for the Canadian national team. He's a quality spinner. Over time, he's been part of different franchises in the US Open. For several years, he would have been part of the US All-Stars. And so this year, he's turned out to the BRAMPTON PACERS. One player from Canada I haven't seen this year and who has always been to the US Open is Rizwan Chima. He's always been part of this tournament. And also we've seen the likes of Hamza Tariq, Saad bin Zafar. Well, he's been injured, I understand. And we've also seen the likes of Ravindu Gunasakera. So they haven't made it to the US Open this year, but they've always come to Florida during the month of December. Marshall comes down the track. Good looking shot. Mark Diyal has been planted there at long on, and he's done well, and they come back for a couple of runs. Look at that. So while the ball was going to Mark Diyal, good alert running from Marshall and Ali, And they pick up a couple of runs.
That's right. There was smart running between the wickets. One was definitely on the cards, but quick running allowed them to get back with the second run as Siddiqui comes up with his angled run up, bowling faster through the air rather than flighting the ball. Lenny?
Yes, Nilesh, recent time, and certainly the advent and so much T20 cricket playing, spinners have become, they bowl with a lot more flatter trajectory than what it was maybe 15 or 20 years ago. However, now and then, still in T20 cricket, we would see bowlers still with a bit of loop. We saw Imran Khan, who bowled earlier on. He bowled with a lot of flight and a bit of loop.
Try and entice the batsman and say, hit me, right, Lenny? And sometimes a miss hit will end up getting caught on the boundary lines as Siddiqui prepares for the next delivery.
And Ali is getting this one out towards the onside. They're running quickly. And now the scamper back for two. Is anyone in danger? The throw comes in. The dive happens. Big appeal. Umpire not convinced. And a couple of runs there to side Ali. But good running, good bit of cricket, good fielding. And he had to put in the dive towards the end.
Those extra runs, the ones converted to twos and the twos into threes, make so much difference in any cricket match, and particularly in this T20 format, as the umpire from the square leg had a long walk to the stumps and now back to his position at square leg.
So that's umpire Aditya Gajar. And we've seen some quality umpiring in the series, led by Jermaine Lindo, of course, one-day international umpire. I would have done several T20 international in recent time. So ball worked into the onside. They're running quickly. They will want a couple of runs. They come back. The throw comes in. A decent throw, but good running again. And a couple more runs here added on to Cavaliers 22 yards. 12 overs gone. 90 for 2. And so the equation is 77 to win from 48.
MAQ Group is the real estate investment company. Our goal at MAQ Group is to provide you with the expertise and service you need to do business in today's complex market. More information visit macgroup.com.
th US Open Cricket 2021 Fantasy Sports. Create your Dream 11 and win exciting prizes. Log in www.usopenfantasy.com.
So we're back with the cricket. You're not missing anything at all. As you can see, a little bit of change of equipment. And certainly a bit of refreshment. Beautiful sight here at Broward County Stadium, Nilesh.
It is floodlit, lovely weather, no rain in the forecast, and great playing conditions. We watched two wonderful matches, and what a difference in the sight, Lenny. During the day we saw bright sunshine and a lovely southern Florida day, and now an evening in Florida.
You're right on that. It's really a sight to behold. One of the only approved stadium that you can come here and under ICC approved lightning, you can enjoy cricket in the night.
And Lenny, coming from Chicago, from the cold Chicago weather, and coming down to southern Florida, this is a particular treat for me. I was just walking around the ground just to absorb the Florida air.
Well, New York has gone into cold also, of course. The season is there, but I understand it's a very warm weekend there, up to 60 degrees. So Shahid Ahmadzai has been given the ball inside out. Marshall picks up another run. And you got to say Marshall has played a good hand so far, but the work is not done yet.
Not yet, as you said. He is building his innings very carefully. 40 or 43 deliveries as Ahmadzai prepares to bowl the second delivery. He's going to be going around the wicket.
So ball played into the onside. Fielder comes around, holds on to the ball, drops it. And so that will go down as a drop catch. So a chance goes a begging here off the bat of Saeed Ali. And we'll have to make a marker on that. Let's take a look.
It was quite a bit to his right and he made ground, but at the end just couldn't hold on.
So that appears to be Colin Archibald. And ball worked into the onside. Look at that there. We saw them in the last over running well, a couple of couples. And both Saeed Ali and Xavier Marshall has been very alert in playing the ball into the open spaces and really running well.
74 or 45, Lenny, is the equation.
So asking 9.8, almost 10 runs and over. This one is tugged into the onside, running quickly to the fielder. And that's one of the bad things when the ball runs quickly to the fielder. You don't get the opportunity to come back for two. And so another run here. This over's gone well for Shahid Ahmadzai. Only 4 runs off the over so far. Oh, Marshall goes up towards the cover here. He's gone all the way. Xavier Marshall picks up another 6. And that brings up the 100 here for Cavaliers, 22 yards. It comes in the 13th over with a smash over the offside for 6 from Xavier Marshall.
That seemed like a quicker delivery, Lenny, and then he went all out for it and smashed it over extra cover for a glorious 6.
So that brings up, well, in fact, doesn't bring up Marshall 50, but it's 100 on the board. And this one is worked into the onside. Marshall is batting well this afternoon or tonight. And he picks up a couple of runs. He goes up to 49. Well played runs. It's 102.
Marshall on 49 and Ali on 12. Marshall certainly playing a good innings here.
So it's time for a Mad Hatter tea break.
Welcome back. 102 for 2, the Cavaliers.
Yes, Nilesh, we're down to the far turn, and then of course we'll come on down to the home stretch. 65 to win from 42 balls. Shamar Springer. In fact, is it Shamar Springer? Colin Archibald has been given the ball, and he will come in here to bowl to a partnership that has gone pretty well. 26 so far, and we're coming to bowl to Saad Ali.
That's a run-up that he is going to go back, declared as a dead ball. Saad Ali was getting ready to face the ball from Colin Archibald.
So Marshall is he's on 49. He's really batted well tonight. And he stands between a victory and a victory for Cavaliers and a loss to the Brampton Pacers. Both teams have played well in this series. A win here for Brampton Pacers will put them on equal terms with a couple of teams in this division. And that is US All-Stars and, of course, Cavaliers. But a loss here for them will put Cavaliers a couple of points ahead of US All-Stars, so a lot to play for. This one, a full toss, hammered into the offside. They will look for 2. In fact, they'll settle for 1. And Marshall comes back into strike.
And then the dreaded 3 alphabets, Archie, the NRR, will come into play as the statisticians will go to work to figure out What is the required margin of victory?
You're right on that, Nilesh. And no one with an ordinary mind has been able to figure out or ascertain things when they get to a decimal point situation.
True, absolutely true.
So Marshall on 49, and we've seen several 50s in this series. We've seen we've seen several times batsmen have gone very close to 50 and have failed. And Marshall gets a ball down the leg side, called a wide, so this will have to be rebowled. One will be added to the score. Look at that, it's 104.
I'm still trying to even understand Duckworth and Lewis. Can you imagine those two biostatisticians going back ways now, right? Duckworth and Lewis we don't use in the net run rate. But my goodness, looking back in those days, Lenny.
Yeah, we came a far way. I remember back in the early days of limited over cricket. 50 for Marshall. And let's see what happens there. So he gets a single. He brings up a 50. Well played, Xavier Marshall.
He waves to his teammates, acknowledging the applause from his teammates in the hut. Very well played, 50 or 47 deliveries by Xavier Marshall.
And so you celebrate a little bit, but you're a little bit optimistic, and you're a little bit anxious to see what happens after that, because there's still some ways to go. Hammer down the ground, fielder comes around, he gets hands on the ball, and they come back for a couple of runs. Should have done a little bit more with a full toss, but they pick up a couple of runs. It's 107 for 2.
Yeah, I think the location of the full toss, a low full toss or a high full toss, sometimes makes the batsman get, it gets a little tricky in trying to place the ball. But the placement was quite good, Lenny, next to the side screen, but Harsh covered the field quite well, stopping the boundary.
So 31-run partnership. Archibald comes in to bowl to side. Saad Ali pulls and pulls well, running up towards the vacant area. It could be the man, and it does so. 4 runs off the bat of Saad Ali. It's 111 for 2. Take a look at that, Nilesh.
That was a huge swipe, got the inside edge of the bat, and the power behind the stroke got him all the way just across the boundary.
So good looking shot from Saad Ali. A spirited run by one of the fielder there. And he ran for all it was worth. It was worth 4 runs off the bat of Saad Ali, and brings the equation down to 56 to win from 38 balls.
And a Nelson 111 for 2.
So this over's gone for 9 so far. Colin Archibald. 4-2. We've seen singles, we've seen wide. Little bit of everything. Runs into bowl to Ali. And Ali, oh, a much commanding shot. It will probably go all the way. Yes, it has. 6 runs off the bat of Ali. It's 117 for 2.
That was power and grace, Lenny. The way he leaned into the delivery and just pulled it over deep long on for a glorious 6.
So Saad Ali has come to play. 41-run partnership. Marshall is on an even 50. And the boys from Cavaliers, 22 yards, are showing why they are a top team, why they have won the US Open twice, and why they have won, why they have come to the US Open and got into the final on a couple of times. Beaten finalists, but they're here again at the US Open 2021.
As the equation stands right now, Lenny, it's 50 of 37 balls. Very gettable, particularly given the fact that they have 8 wickets in hand.
And the fact is, Nilesh, they were looking for a big over. This over is gone for 15. Maybe this is one of those. As Colin Archibald under pressure comes into bowl to Ali. Ali is, look at that, gets an inside edge. It doesn't matter how they come. They call it French cut, and it goes away for 4.
No matter how they come, Lenny, the scoreboard will put 4 runs. They don't say whether they came through a cut or a cover drive or a glorious stroke. So there we go. And we are going to take a Mad Hatter break between the overs.
So 121 for 2. Marshall is on an even 50. But look at that, Nilesh. All of a sudden, Saeed Ali has come out and played a very enterprising knock-up 29 from just 15 balls. Just as what the doctor ordered. And the equation come down to 46 from 36.
That's right, as we see Mark Dayal now coming in, right arm over the wicket, and he hoists one. What a stroke! This is going all the way for a magnificent 6 towards deep long on.
So Marshall on the charge. Look at that. Some massive 6 hitting here for Marshall. He will go up to 56. The partnership has gone to 51. And Xavier Marshall off the bowling of Mark Dayal. Here we go. Smashed into the darkness. And it's gone a long way up onto the banks. And that's a big shot from Xavier Marshall, a man who has played at the international level before. And he settles and wait for Mark Dayal. 40 runs to win from 35 balls. And in modern day T20 cricket, Nilesh, you shouldn't lose from here.
I would agree with you, Lenny, wholeheartedly, because now the bulk of the work has been done as Mark comes in right arm around the wicket. And that's way outside the off stump and declared a wide.
So extras now has gone up to 6. We've seen 4 wides and couple of leg bys. Here we go, way outside the off stump, rightly called a wide. And Marshall settles and waits. It's 128, as you can see, pulled into the onside. Protection out in the deep. Oh my goodness, has he misfielded that ball? We'll have to wait and see. Let's take a look at that. Smashed into the onside. In fact, he's gone for 4. It has been signaled 4 by the umpire. And so 4 more runs there for Cavaliers, 22 yards.
Yeah, those runs, the extra runs that come in strokes like that, they sometimes hurt.
So 11 off, just a couple of legal balls in the over. And Marshall on the charge again. He goes up to 61. Off 50 balls, and it brings the equation down to a manageable 34 to win from 33 balls.
It's interesting that when you say legal balls, this is a typical West Indian commentator's word, because when I see and hear commentary from the subcontinent, we don't use the word legal ball. We assume it is legal.
So Dayal has gone for 12 in the over. And Dayal, by the way, we were talking a little bit earlier on, his dad would have played first-class cricket for Trinidad and Tobago, Dionarain Dayal. So Mark has continued the tradition. Pull through the onside, finds the gap. And another boundary here for Saad Ali. Partnership of 6-1. And this could be over pretty soon.
Yes, the 167 target suddenly seems like it's getting pretty close, as we see on this replay, getting 4 runs. Ali on 33 and Marshall on 61.
And this is a kind of chase that will really prove that Cavaliers 22 Yard is really an excellent team. They've played well over the years, Nilesh. They've always had good leadership in Najaf Shah. He has had good run at the US Open, and they'll be happy that they have such an experienced leader to come aboard this year. Cavaliers 22 Yards. They're doing well here tonight.
Yes, strong leadership is so important in any format for any team sports, and cricket obviously would be no exception to that.
So Xavier Marshall remains on 61, and he's really played a good hand today. And I've seen Marshall play a lot of time, Nilesh, but tonight this has to be a special knock from Xavier Marshall. 15 overs gone, it's 139 for 2, and so 28 to win from 30 balls.
MAQ Group is the real estate investment company. Our goal at MAQ Group is to provide you with the expertise and service you need to do business in today's complex market. More information visit maqgroup.com.
Jagdeep Randhawa is the bowling change. This is his first over in this match. 139 for 2 Cavaliers. Marshall on strike on 62, and Syed Ali giving him brilliant support, Lenny.
Yeah, they've brought the game down to the next 28 runs from 30 balls, whichever happened first. Randhawa runs in from the come box end. No ball, not a good start, and they'll get runs here. So no ball one, so a couple of runs will be added on here, and up comes the free hit. Not a good start here from Randhawa.
Yeah, those no balls really hurt. You get a free hit, and that adds pressure to the bowler. And those free runs coming in at this stage of the game when the team needs wickets and not free deliveries here.
So the Randhawa boys, we've seen a couple of them in this side. This is Jagdeep Randhawa, and then earlier on we saw Jagjit Randhawa, and I will want to think that their brothers are closely related.
Both Jagdeep and Jagjit are very common Punjabi names in India.
So 26 to win from 30 balls. Here is the free hit ball. Syed Ali, he gets it up towards the offside. They will only get a single, and a single certainly brings them closer home. 25 to win from 29. If Cavaliers 22-yard wins here tonight, they'll have a perfect record. They would have won all their 4 games. Every game carries 2 points, and they'll be the first team in the tournament to go for the maximum 8 points.
I think that celebration will come pretty soon as Randhawa comes into bowl.
Oh, hoisted into the onside. Marshall continues his fine form. Look at that. Has gone a long way. 148. 19 to win from 28 balls.
This is a demonstration of some clinical hitting by Xavier Marshall. Look at that shot. Over mid-wicket for a superb 6.
Yeah.
Marshall in prime form for this game, Lenny.
And Marshall has been called up with the, for the US hosting of Ireland. So good way to get ready. This one into the offside. Will it carry? No, it doesn't. And they come back for a couple of runs. So we're beginning to see things are beginning to fall apart here for Brampton Pacers. They realize that the writing is on the wall. With 17 more from 27, this could be a bit of impossibility to defend.
I agree, and I think Jagdeep Randhawa seems to be having some trouble with his run-up as he comes back and measures his run-up again to get his angle correctly and get his deliveries right as he gets ready. Free hit, and it's outside the off stump, declared a wide. So he will have to bowl that again. Jagdeep Randhawa struggling a bit here, Lenny, with his line.
Yeah, the free hit is still in force. Marshall on strike. So things have not gone well here for Randhawa. And in fact, Nilesh, when you look at the scorecard, both of the Randhawa boys got a first ball today. One via run out and one clean ball from the Jaf Shaw. So things have really not gone well. Free hit still in place. A slashing shot. Has it gone all the way? In fact, it's gone one bounce and it goes away for 4. So what an over here. And an over in the 16th here is all that they wanted. And it's all Cavaliers 22 yards at the moment.
And look at that. Anything free, who doesn't like a free stuff? And thank you very much, says Xavier Marshall. And lovely 6 over extra cover as the Cavaliers move to 156 for 2. Marshall on 75 and Syed Ali on 35.
So this over has really been a disaster here for Jagdeep Randhawa. It's still not finished yet. And he runs into Marshall with no pressure at all. And a batsman like Marshall has more flair and more freedom to play whatever he wants to now. With the equation 10 to win from 25 balls. If 25 has any relevance at this juncture of the game.
Yes, the game is headed to an inevitability for the Cavaliers to come as a winner for this match unless something dramatic happens, which seems highly unlikely.
So 81 run partnership. And not forgetting Ali. Ali has played a very good hand here, Nilesh. And he continues to bat well. The partnership some 82 runs and have really brought them closer to home with just about 9 runs remaining.
Now, what is impressive, Lenny, is the way they have built their innings. They have taken their 1s and 2s, and they've also punished the bad deliveries for 4s and 6s. And Jagdeep Randhawa coming in for his last delivery of this over.
And usually at the end of the game, the adjudicators will have a quick discussion as to who the man of the match is. And when we come back, it should be an easy one, but I'll ask you probably to have a suggestion. So we'll take a quick break. 159 for 2, and so some 8 runs remaining.
And we'll have a Mad Hatter's break between the overs. .159 for 2 as we welcome you back to this broadcast at the Central Broward County Stadium under floodlit conditions at the tail end of this third and final match on this Saturday evening here in southern Florida.
So Balkar Kaint has been given the ball. Will come into ball to Marshall. And any discussion, or do you have to think hard to decide who probably could get the player of the match award tonight?
This time Marshall strikes it straight to mid-off and ambles across for an easy single. To answer your question, Lenny, player of the match, 2 initials, not FM radio but XM radio.
Nilesh, if you go to Guyana or you go to the Caribbean and you say you want XM, oh, another free hit. Look what's happening here. And so no ball, free hit, and more runs here. So things have really not gone Brampton Pacers' way in the last couple of overs at all.
Yes, things are falling apart, and the Cavaliers are making full advantage of the situation of the free hits and everything that is coming their way. You were telling me about the XM story.
Well, the XM is a brand of liquor, a brand of rum in Guyana. So if you go there, this one is hoisted into the onside. Fielder will come around, and you can see the body language from the fielder. They have all given up, and I think that's the end of the game, I would say. And look at this one, into the onside and hoisted away. And the body language says it all. So a big victory here for 22 yards. Cavaliers 22 yards. And they win quite impressively and emphatically here this afternoon.
Maybe XM should have a shot of XM tonight.
Yes, let's finish the story. So if for example, you go to Guyana and you say, oh, you want an XM, let's take a look at the scorecard first. Taylor was out quite early, putting a little bit of anxiety into what has happened, but we saw good innings from Chandrapal Hemraj. But look at that, Xavier Marshall, XM. He was not out on 78. He played a very good hand. Saad Ali, he came out not out for 42. A big partnership of some 91 runs between the pair. And in the end, 167 for 2.
And let's look at the bowling figures. Not much to talk about. Only 2 wickets fell. Mark Dayal got 1 for 32. Harsh bowled very economically with giving away only 15 runs in 3 wickets. Shamar Springer with only 1 over. Siddiqui got 1 for 25. And the rest of the bowlers, Shahid Amzadzai, Colin Archibald and Jagdeep Randhawa along with Balkar Keith, they were wicketless. So 167 for 2, a brilliant win. And we see a fan that is coming across on the field running around with a flag there. Did you see that?
Yeah, that appears to be Sean Finley. He's played at the West Indies level. He's part of the Cavaliers 22 yards lineup, and he brings out probably a Cavaliers 22 yards flag. So there you have it, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the feed tonight. Lots of cricket still left in the tournament. Tomorrow is another 3 games, and then of course we head on to playoff spot, I think starting tomorrow afternoon, and then of course the final day of competition. So we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. And we have enjoyed it, bringing it to you on behalf of all my crew. Nilesh?
Well, I really enjoyed this broadcast with you, Lenny. I've learned a lot from you. Those lovely tips that you have been giving me through this commentary stint. We live and learn, don't we? And I hope you enjoyed the broadcast, as Lenny said. And we will be seeing you tomorrow morning, bright and early, for the game on Sunday morning. Good night and take care.
Very good. Thank you.